fuck does that even mean? Well, it's probably best if we don't get pulled over in a stolen car. How far? Ride or die. Freya mutters next to me, her throat working. As far as it takes. Hana looks grim as she reaches into her bag and pulls out a frickin' gun. Yeah, so Kenzo likes me to carry this, but I don't exactly have a permit for it. So that just made our decision much easier, I announce, my hand tightening on the wheel as I reach for the shifter. I glance back at Hana through the mirror again. Your brother is not going to be happy with me, though. I slam the pedal down. All three of us suck in our breath as the car speeds forward into the night.
Chapter 11. Kenzo. Where the fuck is she? I glare angrily at my watch as I pace the sidewalk outside the church in Brooklyn, the venue for this evening's fucking wedding. At least it's supposed to be. Except this shit show is due to start in half an hour and no one's seen or heard from my blushing bride-to-be in almost 24 hours. Or my sister, for that matter. I can easily see Arnica going AWOL on purpose just to give me in this entire situation the finger like the petulant child she is. But it's not like my sister to go radio silent like this. Black thoughts circle and swirl through my head. It's been 2 weeks since the shooting on the roof of Sota's building. He and Kier have agreed that there's no telling who might have sent the guy. They're both powerful men with lots of enemies. Given the fact that the shooter was a clear pro with his fingerprints burnt off and no dental records, yeah, could have been anyone. Yet I can't shake one little detail from that night that I've kept to myself. The laser dot was on Arnica, and an assassin of that caliber doesn't aim at the wrong person or let his scope wander. Yes, killing Arnica could have been an attempt to hurt me, but I was right there. So was Sota and the rest of my family. And it's obvious Arnica is a new addition and clearly not someone I'm in a real relationship with. If they wanted to hurt me, shooting Hana or Sota would have done far more damage. So why the fuck was he aiming at her? I glance at my watch yet again, and where the ever-loving fuck is she? I've had teams of people combing the city since this morning looking for Hana. I've even contacted a high-end hacker I know to try and trace her phone to its last known cell tower ping since it's clearly turned off. And I know Kier's had people looking for Arnica and Freya, that when I touched base with him 2 hours ago, he didn't seem all that concerned. Yeah, because he's dealt with her bullshit for years. Or maybe he just has the patience for it. I sure as fuck don't. The church door opens behind me. I glance back to see Takeshi walking out and loosening his tie. So, he grunts, when are we calling this? We're not. I shoot back. Well, if this thing drags out any longer, people are going to start asking awkward questions. He jerks a thumb back over his shoulder at the church. Not gonna lie, bro, it's already tense in there. Our guys are mean-eyeing Kier's guys and vice versa. If the word starts to get around that your dear wifey is a no-show, shit's gonna hit the fan. Obviously, we've only told a select few that Arnica's missing. But Tak is right. The whole thing is a fucking powder keg, and every minute she doesn't show up is basically her chucking lit matches at it. She's the one that pushed for a nighttime ceremony, yeah? I nod. It's for Freya. She's got this skin thing with sunlight. Takeshi snorts. Wait, seriously? I nod. So it's not just a goth thing? Guess not. I don't know why him reminding me of that little tidbit annoys me even more. Arnica did push to have the wedding after dark so that Freya could attend comfortably without dressing in a spacesuit or anything. Maybe because it proves that Arnica's not just a spoiled Bratva princess with a perpetually raised middle finger. She's compassionate, too, which means she's made a conscious decision to go MIA the day of our goddamn wedding. She's chosen to let me pace in front of the church like a pathetic dickhead about to get stood up for prom. She's not here yet. Half an hour before our fucking wedding, because she wants me to think she skipped out. She wants me to worry. Because that's Arnica's style. She does what she wants, fuck the world, and let everyone else deal with the wreckage and the consequences. Well, there will be consequences for this. Consequences like putting her over my knee and spanking that bratty attitude right out of her. I scowl as that particularly dick-twitching thought enters my head. Then I shove it back down. Get your shit together. Kenzo. I glance at Tak, and then follow his gaze to where the black SUV with an Uber sticker is pulling up to the curb. The back door opens, and my eyes pull to slits as an extremely disheveled Hana slides out, obviously still in the going-out clothes from the night before. You're fucking kidding me, Takeshi mutters, voicing the words I don't even trust myself to say out loud. I storm over and grab my sister by the bicep. What the fuck? I snap. She scowls back at me. It's rare that my sister doesn't look completely put together without a hair out of place. Right now, she literally looks like she slept in the damn Uber. I drag her away from the car, looming over her and glaring down into her face. Are you fucking serious right now? Where? I close my eyes, sucking in air through my nose to try and calm the sirens in my head. Just as my pulse is about to creep down from thermonuclear levels, it spikes again as someone else slides their bedraggled ass out of the SUV, some dress bags over her arm. Annika. Get the fuck inside, I snap coldly at Hana. I'll deal with you later. Hana gives me a sheepish look, grabs the dress bags from Annika and scurries into the church. Just as I turn to read my Bride the Riot Act, Tak beats me to it. Where the fuck did you take my fucking sister? He roars in Annika's face. She backs away from him against the side of the SUV as he cages her in with his hands against the windows on either side of her. Suddenly he reaches out and grabs her arm roughly. You fucking bitch! That's enough. Before I even realize what I'm doing, I've crossed the distance between us, grabbed my brother by the back of his collar and yanked him away from her. Takeshi goes stumbling backward, almost falling onto his ass on the sidewalk. He shoots me a dark glance. But before he can chew me out for getting on his ass instead of Annika's, I march over to him and jam a finger in his face. Don't you ever lay a hand on her again. Understood? Takeshi's eyes bulge in disbelief. A vein on his forehead starts throbbing as pure violence churns through him like diesel in an engine. I said, I snarl, is that fucking understood, Takeshi? He grinds his teeth, but nods. Fine. Fuck, he growls. His eyes swivel past me to Freya getting out of the car. What about this little psycho? Oh, she's fair game, I grunt. Do your worst. You lay a finger on her and I'll fucking cut it off. My brow furrows darkly as I turn. Annika is glaring daggers at me as the SUV behind her wisely gets the fuck out of Dodge. What did you say? I said, if you touch her, she hisses, indicating Freya, I'll cut your fucking finger off. She clears her throat. Now, if you don't mind, I have this bullshit wedding to star in. She and Freya march past us, and I sure as shit don't miss the smug little looks on their faces. Are you seriously going to let her talk to you like... Why don't you let me worry about how my wife speaks to me, Tak? I growl at him. Get inside. Get everyone ready. Tell Keir his little fucking princess has deigned to make an appearance at her own party. Can I say it like that? Write it on his face in fucking Sharpie for all I care, I mutter, stalking off in Annika's and Freya's direction. Inside the church, an usher smiles weakly at me and points me in the direction of a small room at the back of the church. I pause for a second to try and talk myself down from livid to just plain furious as I pause outside the door. Then I'm barging in. Annika startles a little, glancing up at me from where she's plugging in her phone next to a table laden with makeup, hair products, and roses. One of the dress bags is hanging from a hook on the wall. Where the hell have you been? I snap coldly, slamming the door shut. Annika gives me an infuriatingly cheeky grin. Miss me? The smug smile drops in a heartbeat when I surge across the room into her, forcing her against the wall behind her. Is this a game to you? A fucking joke? She swallows and slips past me, walking over to the table and picking up a bottle of water. Not a game. She shrugs, cracking the bottle and chugging half of it before shoving her hair back from her face. A joke? She shrugs again.
Yeah, kind of.
She gasps sharply as I grab her wrist, knocking the water bottle from her hand as I yank her back to me, spin her around and slam her against the wall, looming over her. All the sass and colour fades from her face as she stares up at me.
Excuse me?
Her hair is a mess. Her makeup from the night before is smudged and faded. There are bags under her eyes, and I'm pretty sure I can still smell the alcohol on her. But Jesus Christ, she's hot. It's inexplicable and undefinable, and way more than just looks, too. It's like there's a power radiating off her. Maybe pheromones or some shit, or who knows? Regardless, my pulse is racing from more than just anger. My skin is throbbing, as if the few inches between us is too great a distance. It's making my dick hard as fucking steel, too.
What's the matter, Kenzo?
She purrs, batting her eyes exaggeratedly.
Were you worried?
I'm going to take the bait and say yes. She makes a puppy dog face.
Oh, how?
Not for you, princess, I growl. For my sister. For what today means to a lot of other people besides fucking you. She exhales slowly, looking away as she tries to smooth her gingery red hair.
We got carried away last night.
Where the fuck were you? We've had people looking all over the city since last night. She winces.
Our phones died.
Where were you? Her full bottom lip retreats between her teeth. God damn it, Annika, I'm not in the mood. Where?
Montreal.
At first, I'm sure I misheard her. But as the silence lengthens and the heat spreads over her cheeks, I realize I did not. I stare at her. I'm not sure I was clear about the not joking.
She swallows. Not joking.
Excuse me.
There may have been a misunderstanding.
With? She smiles weakly.
The cops?
My jaw drops. About?
A car.
She flashes another sheepish smile as the steam curls out of my fucking ears. Whose fucking car? That fucking sheepish grin comes out to play again and my teeth grind. You're fucking joking, I hiss. You stole a fucking car with my sister and drove to fucking Canada. Annika winces.
I know it looks bad.
No shit. She shivers as I roar.
The plan wasn't Canada, it was just...
She whimpers as I grab her jaw. Please, I snarl quietly. Don't omit a single fun little detail. Annika shivers.
The cops were following us, and...
Chasing, I snap. They were chasing you.
Okay.
She looks away.
Yes, the cops were chasing us, but it's not like it's my first time being chased by the...
For my fucking sister it was.
Well...
Annika attempts a grin.
Thanks to me, she's not in jail.
She was only in that mess to begin with, thanks to you. I roar. Canada? Are you fucking serious?
Well, once we were out of the city, there were state troopers on the highway, and they started following...
Chasing?
Fine,
she yells back.
They were chasing us too, and to get out of all that, we went up I-87. We lost them, you're welcome, but then realized we were only like 2 hours from the border.
I stare at the woman to whom I'm about to commit my life in awe and terror. She's insane. She's legitimately fucking insane. So you made the logical decision to go to fucking Montreal. What, were your drunk asses craving poutine?
Is that a trick question?
My face turns crimson as she shrugs.
I mean, it was my bachelorette party.
I shake my head. Whose idea was this?
Mine,
she blurts, just a bit too quickly. I'll find you in a fucking second, Hannah.
Now,
Annika mutters, shooting me a dirty look.
If this interrogation is over...
My eyes widen. You actually think this is the end of this? I scoff, shaking my head. You're fucking unbelievable.
You don't have to marry me, you know.
Unfortunately, I grunt. We both know I do. But make no mistake. I relish the way Annika gasps as I surge into her, grabbing her by the chin again and leering down into her face. Marrying you doesn't mean I've forgotten this, or it just goes away. She rolls her eyes.
What are you going to do? Punish me?
The second she says it, the room goes quiet. Because for some bizarre reason, that seemingly innocent little phrase, punish me, doesn't feel quite so innocent when it's hovering between us, alone in a room together with our pulses racing. Fuck me. My cock twitches as soon as she says it, and within seconds, I'm tenting the front of my slacks. I picture her on her knees, tits and tongue out, thighs spread, maybe a plug in her ass and a collar around her throat as she looks up and begs for it.
Please punish me, sir.
I grit my teeth, willing my cock to calm the fuck down as I shake those intoxicating thoughts away. Get ready, I mutter coldly. We don't have much time.
Well, you're the one keeping me.
40 seconds later, I'm barging in on Hana in another little room just as she's struggling to zip up the back of her dress.
Hey, hi, have we heard of knocking?
She mutters. She shoots me a look in the mirror in front of her.
Actually, can you get this?
I nod, storming over and yanking the zipper up the rest of the way.
Thanks,
she mumbles. Our eyes meet in the mirror. Outside may have been a rare moment of Hana looking dishevelled, but it's taken her no time at all to morph back into her customary, utterly put-together self. Her makeup is flawless. Her hair is combed out to its usual thick, glossy straightness, the blonde streaks perfect and neatly in place. What the fuck, Hana? I growl at my sister.
I'm not really in the mood, Kenzo,
she sighs, futzing with her hair in the mirror as I glare at her. That fucking woman, I snarl, jabbing a finger at nowhere in particular, is
about to be your wife, brother,
Hana says dryly. I roll my eyes. Well, she's trouble. My sister snorts.
Sure is.
She laughs to herself as she reapplies lipstick.
But I gotta say, she kept up.
My brow furrows. With
me.
Hana shrugs.
She's cool. I like her.
Because she took you to fucking Canada? She frowns.
No, because she wouldn't back down no matter how far I pushed things. And she didn't take me to Canada.
She shrugs.
That was my idea. Fuck, I never thought she'd actually do it.
I turn to stare at her, thunderstruck. You stole a car.
Technically, your fiancé stole a car.
What in God's name would possess her to do that at her bachelorette party? Hana grins sheepishly. What, Hana? I grunt.
Because I dared her to?
I groan. Fucking hell.
Please,
my sister sighs.
What are we, clergy? You do realize you're about to be a king, right, Kenzo? I mean, live a little.
There's living a little, and then there's recklessness. Learn the difference, Hana.
Oh, like going after a woman for years just because she stole a necklace from you?
My eyes narrow. You know what that necklace.
You've got a lot of Mum's things, Kenzo, she says tersely. I do too. So I'm wondering if it was the necklace, the girl, or the fact that someone beat you that had you all angry and riled up for 5 fucking years.
My brows knit. I don't actually know how to answer that. For the millionth time, I'm reminded how smart my younger sister is.
Better get ready, Kenzo,
Hana says quietly.
It's almost showtime.
From my place standing by the altar, my eyes scan the crowd as the string quartet begins to play. I nod to Sota, who nods back. My father isn't here, but that's okay. I saw him last night and we shared food and a couple of drinks, and he talked to me about married life and being a man and all that. He doesn't need to be here for the actual ceremony, especially since he's long since left the Mafia world. Takeshi gives me a thumbs up, and Mal next to him gives me a firm nod. A few rows back, I can see Drazen Krylov settling into his seat next to Arnika's twin sister, Taylor. Fumi, my half-sister, is another one who couldn't be here today. She called me earlier to congratulate me, of course, but the First Lady of New York State can't exactly be seen attending Mafia weddings. I get it. The doors at the back of the church open. Everyone turns to watch Keir walk Arnika down the aisle. And my heart stops. Not because this is suddenly also very, very real. Not because I'm about to chain myself to a batshit crazy little fucking thief. No. My heart stills for a moment because when she walks in, all I can see is how fucking beautiful she looks. I mean, fuck. I half expected her to walk down the aisle in a Halloween costume just to fuck with me. But here she is in floor-length white satin and tulle, with pearls sewn into elaborate little floral designs up one side, and dainty leaves made of silky lace scattered across the deep neckline and plunging back. Christ, she looks incredible. Keir has to cough to yank my attention back when they reach me at the altar. He puts her hand in mine, and then gives me a hard look as he leans close. "This woman is a daughter to me," he says so quietly that only I can hear, "and I already have a bullet with your name quite literally on it. If you hurt her, I won't. I'll be making sure." He pats my forearm before he turns to kiss Annika on the cheek. I won't lie, even that gets my blood heated and my teeth grinding in ways I'm not quite ready to dissect just yet. Annika and I face each other as the priest says the words. I slip a ring onto her finger, and she does the same to me before we utter our vows. "And now, by the power vested in me by God and the state of New York, I pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss your bride." Annika half turns to smile at the assembled guests and the cameras, already moving as if she's about to walk back up the aisle. I can't honestly say what makes me do it. Tradition, maybe? Sticking to the script, or selling this to anyone present who's too stupid to understand that this marriage is a peace treaty, not a declaration of love. Whatever the reason, I'm moving before I realize it. In one motion, I've grabbed Annika around the waist, turned her around with a gasp on her lips, and yanked her against my body. Her brow furrows in confusion as she looks up at me. "What the fuck are you?" "This." My mouth slams to hers. Our lips sear together as my hand cups her jaw and draws her in. My tongue dives into her mouth and captures hers. And everything around us just fades. Just as I'm about to try and stop myself, or at least decide what the fuck just came over me, an ear-splitting crash explodes through the church. We whirl along with the rest of the crowd, and then I'm roaring and jumping in front of Annika as the van comes crashing through the doors of the church in a hail of splintered wood. Guests and their guards lurch out of the way and screams fill the air as the van plows into two pews and then winds to a stop, smoke billowing from its wrecked front grille and its windshield spiderwebbed. "Mal!" I roar. He and Tack and a bunch of our guys are already whipping guns out and approaching the sides of the van. Keir's men are doing the same. I glance over and spot Drazen keeping Taylor behind him, his gun drawn as they back away toward a side door surrounded by his guards. I turn to Hana, but she's already with Sota and his guys, also moving toward the side door. "Out of the van!" Mal roars. "Now!" When there's no response, he edges closer. The whole fucking church is on edge, like we're teetering on our toes on the precipice of a cliff. "Out!" Mal doesn't hesitate this time. He charges the driver's side door, yanking it open and jamming his gun inside. I see the wild look on his face before he even turns back to me. It's empty. Oh, fuck. "Get back!" I roar, shoving Annika back toward the door leading to the vestry and then running to the van as the whole damn church descends into chaos. "Get back! Mel, get the fuck away from—" The air turns to fire as I'm punched backward off my feet from the force of the car bomb that shatters the night.
Chapter 12. Annika. The alcohol is strong and fierce, and it rolls down my throat like fire. I don't normally chuck booze straight like this, but given the events of the last 2 hours, yeah, I think this is necessary. I pause, letting the first massive gulp of vodka settle in my stomach before I tip the glass back and swallow the rest of it. I inhale deeply, wincing as I set the glass down before reaching for the bottle again. Like I said, necessary. Plus, I am half Serbian. Drinking vodka like water is in my DNA. Mercifully, There have been minimal casualties from the car bomb that ripped through the church earlier. And miraculously, no fatalities. Kenzo's brother Mal has a nasty gash across the temple from shrapnel, and 7 other Mori and Akiyama men have various minor injuries from the blast. Lev, one of Kir's guys, is in the worst shape after taking a piece of van in the stomach like a machete. But even he's going to be okay. So are the 4 other Nikolaev men who took shrapnel. No one else was hurt. My first fear in that terrifying moment after the explosion rocked the church was for my sister, of course. But by the time the van came crashing through the front wall, Drazen was already hustling her out through the side door, and they were outside when the bomb went off. They're both fine. Kir was apparently similarly dragging Freya out before the bomb even blew, and Sota, Akiyama, and Hana were also already outside as well. But even knowing all that, and even though I grew up in the Mafia and went through what happened to my family, and then spent so many years living with danger, I'm still shaken by what just happened. Hence the drinking. I pour another hefty glass and bring it to my lips. It stings a little less this time, with the first shot already numbing my body a little, and settles inside to warm my core.
Keep him there, Mal.
Kenzo growls into his phone across the room. We're in the penthouse apartment he keeps in Manhattan, a stunning spot high above Central Park East with huge double-story walls of glass that look out over the city. The penthouse is sparsely decorated and furnished, since he doesn't spend much time here. And even when he is in New York, he's mostly at Sota's place. Kenzo explained all of this in a few words when we first walked in.
I don't give a fuck that he's angry,
Kenzo hisses, turning his back to me perched on the couch as he paces near the windows.
We're all angry. His fucking job right now is to sit his ass down and guard Sota and Hana, not run around the city looking for a fight. Tell Takashi I'm pulling rank and that's a goddamn order.
I glance back at my phone as I keep swigging vodka. Freya.
You're sure you're good?
Me. Yeah. Tons of security. 5 of Kenzo's guys watching the lobby plus 3 of Kir's. My brow knits. Me. Are you okay? After the explosion, Kenzo insisted on bringing me here, which he claims is one of the safest places in the city. Freya, meanwhile, went with Kir to his place. I'm not worried about her safety there, because I know Kir's place is impenetrable. But I am worried about the fact that we both just experienced a fucking bombing. Freya. I'm good. Kinda shaken. Like WTF. Freya. We thinking Kenzo's enemies or ours? It's impossible to know yet. All anyone does know is that the van was driven into the church and detonated via remote. It was the rental, too, and I'd bet my ass that the rental was done using a fake ID. No one would be stupid enough to bomb a mafia wedding and leave any possible trail back to themselves, unless they wanted to die with their genitals stuffed down their throats. Me. No idea, honestly. It does seem more like a Bratva move than Yakuza. Not that the Yakuza don't have open conflicts, too. But with firearms being so controlled in Japan, the Yakuza tend to wage war quietly. Swords, poison, that sort of thing. It's the Russians who like to go barreling in with guns blazing and blowing shit up like a bunch of fucking cowboys. I shiver as I glance back at my phone. Me. Kir sent guys to watch Damien, yeah? Damien's last surgery was a huge success, but they're giving him a few extra days in the induced coma after all, to help him heal a little more before they bring him out of it. The thought of him just lying there helpless in the hospital, easy pickings, sends a shiver up my spine. Freya. As if that wasn't my first thought. Freya. All Kir's? Me. Sorry. Kinda freaked out. Freya. Same. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, there's like 10 guys at the hospital right now. I exhale slowly. Thank God. After I tell Frey to stay safe and to text again later, I pour myself yet another glass of vodka and knock half of it back. Then I check in with Taylor, Obviously, she's holed up safe and sound in Drazen's luxury tower penthouse, probably surrounded by like 1,000 guards and fucking air support, knowing her husband. It's also pretty clear neither Drazen nor my sister was the target of the attack today. Me. How are you? Taylor. We're good. I mean, Drazen is ready to level the whole city right now, but once I calm him down, he'll be good. I grin, happy that my twin is as safe as she can possibly be. At the same time, I hate that this happened with her there, that the messiness of my life almost got her hurt. When I'm finally off my phone, I polish off the glass sitting next to me and pour... Fuck. I've officially lost count. But I've stopped shaking, so there's that. Across the room, Kenzo is speaking quietly in Japanese. I don't really know any, but I can vaguely guess from his tone that he's probably talking to Sota. I sip my drink, feeling warm and fuzzy as I watch him. My husband. I groan, scrunching up my face. Fuck, that feels weird to say, even inside my head. I never once, and I truly mean that, pictured myself getting married. When I was younger and on the run, romance or even talking to a man never even crossed my mind. It's hard to date, or even flirt, when you're struggling to survive. Later, of course, there was him, but... I shudder as I bring the glass to my lips and drink deeply. That was something else. That was hell. A prison. And even in the depths of my most pathetic moments with he who will not be named, I never once thought it would end in marriage. And after the horrors he put me through were behind me, I could barely look at another man, much less date one, or fall for one, or even touch one. A warm feeling spreads through me as my eyes drag across the dimly lit penthouse. Rain falls softly outside, pattering against the tall glass wall as I watch Kenzo. He's still on the phone, but as I stare at him, his back to me, he shrugs off his jacket and gets rid of his tie. He holds the phone against his broad shoulder as he unbuttons his dress shirt and peels it away. My lip slips between my teeth. The vodka feels real nice in my core right now. My eyes drag slowly over Kenzo's broad, muscled, lean back. The Irazumi-style Yakuza ink that spreads across his skin ripples as his corded muscles clench. Down, girl. Kenzo says the last few words in Japanese, nodding stiffly before he ends the call and slips the phone into his pocket. He keeps his back to me as he sighs heavily. And for the first time, it hits me that he's more than just this smug, steely-eyed Yakuza prince. The man cares. A lot. At least about his own family. In this moment, you can almost see the weight of his future empire pressing down on his shoulders, and his back almost bowing under the heaviness of it. I flinch slightly as he suddenly turns. His eyes stab across the penthouse right into mine. His chiseled jaw ripples a little, and when he rolls his neck, his pectorals flex. Fuck me, the man is shredded. Hard, lean muscle curves down his ribs and bands across his abdomen. The clearly defined 8-pack of his abs clenches as he starts to walk toward me, the ink on his chest and arms rippling with each step. My eyes drop to the sinfully defined V-lines that cut down his hips into the waist of his dress pants, like warning signs on a dark road. Caution. Turn back. Danger ahead. Step the fuck away, Annika.
Let me take a look at that.
His low, growling voice yanks my eyes from his body to his face. Then I glance down, following his gaze to the blood seeping through my wedding dress over my thigh. I checked it out in the bathroom when we first got here. It's not a bad cut at all. From the tear in the satin itself, I'm guessing it was a piece of church pew, or maybe the van, that blew past me. Well, not quite past me. I'm fine, I shrug, picking up my glass and draining it. It's nothing. I already bandaged it up in the bathroom when we got here. His dark brows furrow.
I'm only going to ask this once.
He growls, moving closer to me. He plucks a bottle of vodka from the table, looking right at me as he brings it to his lips and takes a long, drawn-out gulp. Then a second one. When he sets it back on the table, he rubs his jaw with one hand.
Okay. Who's trying to kill you?
I frown. Who says anyone's trying to kill me? You're the up-and-coming.
I am well aware of all the people who want me dead. I'm even somewhat aware of the people who might want Keir dead. And that wasn't any of them.
I roll my eyes. What are you, Sherlock Holmes? How the fuck could you possibly know that?
Because I've taught myself to be observant.
He growls.
And mindful of my surroundings. Unlike some people.
I flip him off. If you feel compelled to talk about how great you are, there's a mirror in the bathroom that might be a better conversationalist.
Funny,
he mutters.
The shooter the other day was aiming at you.
Do you think it was him behind it? The shooter, I mean. I flinch as the face of he who shall not be named emerges from the blackness in my mind. But no, it can't have been him. He wouldn't hide in the shadows when he tried to kill me.
Today is the second time in as many weeks that someone's tried to kill me or my family, and I generally like to limit that to once a month. I want answers. Now.
His abs clench as he reaches for the bottle again, towering over me, and brings it to his lips. I just glare at him. I don't have answers, because I have no more fucking idea who might be behind today than you do.
Bullshit. Annika.
What are you going to do? I spit angrily, grabbing the bottle as soon as he sets it down and taking a heavy swig. Torture me until I give you a name?
No, but I believe there was mention of punishing you.
My face explodes with heat, and I can feel my lip shrinking back between my teeth as I look away.
Let me see that wound.
I'm fine, I mutter quietly.
The hell you are.
He starts to reach for the hem of the wedding dress. Before his hand gets there, I slap it away in a clumsy, vodka-slowed motion. Leave me alone. Kenzo rolls his eyes.
Are you always this goddamn stubborn?
Things you would have known if we'd spoken for more than 9 seconds before getting engaged. His eyes narrow.
I think we've done more than speak for 9 seconds.
Really? I've forgotten, I say, casually shrugging.
Some of us didn't forget you drugging and robbing them.
He growls tightly.
Now stop being a pain in the ass and let me see your wound.
You're bleeding too. He glances down at his wrist, frowning, as if noticing the red on his skin for the first time.
It's not my blood.
He grunts and wipes it off on his pants. Oh.
Now, are you going to show me the wound, or am I going to cut this dress off you to see it?
Without waiting for an answer, Kenzo drops to his knees right in front of me. I watch him almost in a daze as he takes the hem of my wedding gown in his hands and gently pushes it up over my knees. His big, veined hands slip easily around the back of my knee and thigh without any sort of care about invading my personal space. He lifts my leg a little, causing the dress to ride up higher on that side. My face throbs as he leans closer, his brow furrowing.
Where the fuck did you learn to dress a wound? TikTok?
He grunts, scowling at the admittedly half-assed job I did in the bathroom with 3 Band-Aids and some old wrap tape. It's fine, I mumble.
It's a fucking infection waiting to happen. Don't move.
Kenzo walks away, disappearing into the darkness outside the dim glow of the living room. He returns a few minutes later with a first aid kit. Still shirtless. Distractingly shirtless. My head floats a little, the alcohol burning in my veins. Kenzo says nothing as he drops to his knees again in front of me. Once more, he pushes my knee to the side. My breath catches sharply as his hand skims up my inner thigh to a few inches past my knee. His long, strong fingers grip the edge of the tape and the Band-Aids, and without any warning, he yanks my crappy bandage off. Shit! I wince, hissing as my leg jerks back. What the fuck?
Hold still,
he mutters without looking up at me. He grabs hold of my leg again, a little roughly. Honestly, right now, I don't mind. Peers at the cut, then reaches down and brings up a wet antiseptic wipe. I hiss sharply as he dabs it on the small gash on my thigh. Fuck! I blurt, my leg jerking again.
Calm the fuck down.
I roll my eyes. Your bedside manner is shit, for the record. Ow! I glare at him as he roughly dabs the cut again.
Oh, sorry,
he says without a trace of apology in his voice. Smiling. He is fucking smiling. Asshole. I purse my lips, refusing to whimper as he finishes cleaning the cut. Then he tapes a bandage over it, pressing down on the edges and dimpling my skin as he makes it stick fast.
There,
he grunts, nodding his chin at his handiwork.
Much better.
Admittedly, his work does look like I went to a doctor. Mine looked like a stoned raccoon did it. Wonderful, I mutter. Are we done now?
Almost.
It happens quickly. And yet, it also feels like the moment is drawn out for hours. I watch, my eyes slowly widening and my mouth falling open as Kenzo leans down, brushing the bandage gently with his thumb. Slowly, he lowers his mouth. His lips press to the white gauze in a brief, soft kiss. For a moment, we both freeze. His lips hover a half-inch above my bandage, his warm breath teasing over my bare skin. I can feel my pulse thudding in my ears. His fingers grip my thigh tighter, the raw power of his strength pulsing off his fingertips and into me. I shiver when he leans back down, his lips brushing my bandage once again. My breathing becomes quiet little staccato gasps as his dark eyes slowly lift to mine. He holds my gaze unflinchingly and mercilessly as he slowly moves his mouth an inch higher. This time, it's bare skin that his lips touch. A zap of something electric throbs in my core, tingling and teasing every extremity with nervous, buzzing energy. Kenzo's strong hands on my thigh push a little bit higher, sliding the dress up with them. His mouth follows, dropping another teasing, soft, electrifying kiss on my tingling skin. Oh, fuck. We're both utterly silent as he pushes the wedding dress even higher, letting it slide almost all the way up to my panties. My breath catches sharply as his mouth drops to land another soft, wet kiss against my skin. Though this time, it's a little harder. More insistent, less fluttery, demanding. I bite back the involuntary whimper that forms in my throat as his hands slide boldly up my thigh, pushing on my leg. He pushes the dress up to my waist, and a heat flushes scorchingly through my body and over my face as he lewdly spreads my legs wide. His eyes never leave mine as he moves his mouth higher. This time, when his lips brush against my skin, it's followed by a sharp, and I do mean sharp, bite of his teeth on my bare inner thigh that makes me gasp. Fuck! I choke in a breathless whimper, my throat closing in on itself as my eyes widen. Then he does it again, marking me again with his teeth in the same fucking spot. I wince, a raw, erotic pain throbbing through my skin, electrifying me and making my thighs tremble. I can feel my core clench and my nipples tighten as his tongue swipes at the bite he's just given me. Kenzo, I mumble quietly. What?
I did warn you, princess.
He rumbles darkly, his eyes sweeping up to mine before he lowers his mouth again. I cry out when his teeth rake over my skin, followed by a slow, wet swipe of his tongue. His gaze drops between my legs, and I watch the raw, black fire in his eyes pulse with something vicious as they lock onto the apex of my thighs, covered only by a thin strip of lace.
When you're my wife, it'll be in every sense of the word.
He roughly pushes my legs wider apart, spreading me open. You... I choke on my words as his strong hand pushes up my thigh. You can't just...
Watch me.
I try to close my legs, but he slaps my thigh, pushing them apart again, making me whimper. His lips brush my skin once more, and I cry out when his teeth come out to play again. The sting of them sinking into my flesh sends a raw throb through my core, and I'm still shuddering from the bite when his hand boldly slides up between my legs. Oh, fuck. Kenzo's huge hand cups my swollen pussy through my wet panties. My face burns with heat. My eyes hood as I stare at where his hand is resting, watching, biting back a moan as he drags one finger up my lips through the slick lace. My breathing becomes heavy and rasping, my skin tingling everywhere as my nipples tease against the inside of my dress. Our eyes lock, and I hiccup. Motherfucker. Kenzo's brow furrows, and his hand starts to pull back. What are you doing? I blurt. His hand stays where it is, his palm against my needy sex. But his finger isn't moving anymore. His eyes lock with mine.
You're drunk,
he growls quietly. No, I'm not. Fucking fuck. Even I can hear the slurring of my words as they slide from my lips. My eyes drift to the side table, landing on the empty glass and the bottle of vodka with the sizable dent in it. Okay, maybe all the vodka is catching up to me. With a vengeance. I'm really not.
Yes,
he growls.
You are.
I hate how disappointed I get when his hand moves away. What? I mumble. You won't touch a drunk girl? Kenzo says nothing as he starts to stand. I snort loudly. Wow! And here I thought you were this big, tough Yakuza badass.
And that necessitates sexual assault.
Can't rape the willing. The nanosecond those words leave my mouth, it's like I sober up instantly. My hand slams over my mouth as heat explodes across my face. What is wrong with me? That's not the only thing that happens when those words fly out into the universe. Kenzo freezes as if turned to stone. His eyes change from their usual intense dark fire into this breath-arresting darkness throbbing with wrath and malice. Slowly, those eyes lock with mine, and a flame ripples through my core.
Say that again,
he rasps, his voice rippling with a dark energy that both terrifies and electrifies me. I shiver as he moves up, crouching between my lewdly spread thighs with my wedding dress bunched up around my hips, looming over me. He reaches down, and I whimper as his powerful fingers wrap like a vice around my throat.
I said,
he growls savagely.
Say that again.
I tremble but shake my head. No. Kenzo's lips curl monstrously.
Careful, princess,
he murmurs. I bite back a whimper as he leans down into me, his body spreading my thighs wide as his mouth brushes my neck and my earlobe.
I might just get used to that word and like it a bit too much.
I shudder, a heady mix of fear and raw lust exploding, raining liquid fire through my core and my veins.
You want my hands on you?
He snarls. I cry out as his hand roughly pushes between my legs, cupping my throbbing pussy through my panties. A whimper falls from my lips as his fingers slip underneath the edge. His arm jerks, his muscled forearm rippling, and rips the fucking lace away from me. That's just the start of it. Suddenly, without any warning, I feel two thick fingers push between my needy lips. A raw, aching groan is torn from my throat as he roughly sinks them into me, shoving them deep. Fuck! I choke, shuddering as my hands instinctively reach for and grab hold of his muscled forearm.
How about now, princess?
He snarls dangerously. His fingers start to slide out, only to instantly ram right back in, curling up against my G-spot. Oh, I whimper, shivering and shuddering as he starts to stroke his fingers in and out of my aching, wet pussy. Then he cranks it up and starts to finger me even harder and more roughly.
And now,
he purrs darkly. Yes, I choke pathetically, clinging to him as the waves of dark pleasure begin to swell and crash against my insides. I can still feel the alcohol surging through my veins. I'm drunk, very drunk, but all it does is throw fuel on the fire surging in my core. The room spins and my senses swirl and pulse. The slow descent into inebriation walks hand in hand with the dark pleasure he's wringing from my body, and all I want to do is ride this wave for fucking ever.
Who knew my wife was such a desperate, needy little slut?
Kenzo hisses in my ear. I moan loudly. More, I whimper desperately, feeling myself tighten around him. He chuckles darkly.
More,
he growls.
What a greedy little slut.
He suddenly adds a third finger. My eyes fly open, my mouth gaping wide as I'm suddenly filled like I never have been before. Shit, I moan. I'd meant more filthy talk, but this is... Fuck. It's unreal, untethering, unearthly. The sensation of his huge fingers stretching my pussy wide and filling me to my limit is even more intoxicating than the vodka. An aching adrenaline rush mixed with the desperate need for pleasure. His mouth drops to my neck, and I cry out as he bites down hard. His fingers curl tighter around my throat, pinching off my blood flow and my oxygen just enough to take the swirling sensation of the alcohol in my veins to an otherworldly level. Everything blurs and turns to liquid fire. My skin comes alive, and I beg him for more as he roughly savages my neck with his teeth and fingers me into oblivion.
Why don't you be a good little fuck toy and fucking come for me like the greedy little slut you are, wife?
He snarls viciously into my ear. His thumb starts to rub my clit as his 3 huge fingers keep ramming into me.
Come on my fucking hand, now, like a good girl.
Sweet fucking Jesus. When I explode, it's like reality itself blurs around me. Like the world I know blips out of focus for a second, sending me spiraling in a free fall into blank space. I cry out, my hands clutching his forearm as tight as I can, feeling the tendons and muscles under his tattooed skin ripple as his fingers curl deep inside of me. He bites me one last time, dragging a moaning shriek from my trembling lips. Then his fingers slip out from between my legs. His mouth and hand pull away from my neck and throat. Shit. My head is spinning, and while the orgasm is part of it, it's also obviously the several shots of vodka I had all starting to creep up on me at once. I bite my teeth together and cling to the chair as the room starts to spin a little. Suddenly, I'm being lifted. I drag my loopy gaze up and then feel a fuzzy smile spreading over my face as I look up into Kenzo's eyes. He's carrying me somewhere, one arm under my knees, the other under my back, like I am a baby. Where? I mumble, my words slurring badly. Where are we going?
To bed.
he growls curtly. Heat throbs through my core. Are you gonna fuck me now? I hate how disappointed I get when he scowls and shakes his head.
No.
My lips twist petulantly. Why? I whine, sagging against his strong arms as he carries me through the penthouse. 'Cause I'm not Matsuyaki's bimbo daughter. He smirks when I say it. I hate that too, damn it. We walk into a huge, dimly lit, very masculine bedroom. I gasp a little too dramatically as he drops me onto a huge, insanely soft bed. I grin as I feel my body snuggle into it.
I'm not going to fuck you while you're passed out,
Kenzo growls, pulling a blanket up over me as my eyes begin to drift closed. You could. I freeze instantly. So does he, the blanket halfway over me.
What did you just say?
There's a lethal, dangerous edge to his voice. I open my eyes to see him leaning close to me, his black eyes boring into mine and sending little pulses of nervous heat tingling through every nerve in my body. Nothing. His hand wraps around my throat again.
What did you just say?
He growls. I said you could. I whisper breathlessly. My eyes drop closed again. My mouth goes slack as the comforting embrace of the bed begins to swallow me whole. Fuck me. The blanket is pulled up over me.
Get some sleep, princess.
Then I'm out.
Chapter 13. Kenzo. Come on in. Mal strolls into the penthouse, closing the door behind him. Casual Friday, he quips, eyeing me. I'm still shirtless from earlier. I'm sorry, should I put on something nicer for you? He smirks and rolls his eyes. Is your new bride as casually attired at the moment? Something heated flashes in my chest as I whirl on him. How about you stop that imagination of yours right the fuck now? I snarl quietly. Mal arches a brow, but doesn't say a word. He doesn't need to. I'm already thinking it. What the fuck was that? It's the same gut response I had to Takeshi getting in Anika's face earlier this evening before the wedding. This protective, one might say overly protective instinct when it comes to her. I understand it about as much as I understand my actions earlier, when I put my hands on her and didn't stop putting my hands on her until I'd wrung that shattering orgasm from her body. You could. Something black, deviant and monstrous roars awake inside me. I've never been ashamed of anything I've done. Killing, maiming, extorting, ruining lives and taking countless others. I've lost exactly 0 minutes of sleep to the vicious things I've done. I have to do them in my world. That lack of shame extends to my more personal tastes and sexual proclivities. Free use, somnophilia, taking total control, perhaps when a partner is incapacitated in some way, or asleep. Again, I categorically don't feel ashamed for wanting to fuck like that, but a tiny part of me knows that perhaps I should. And those words coming from her mouth, after I just had my fingers inside her, the taste of her skin still on my lips, after she just shattered for me and was falling into an alcohol-driven oblivion. God fucking help me. I almost did. I stood in that bedroom for another 10 minutes watching her sleep. I took off her dress. I may have spread her legs and stroked my cock, feasting my eyes on her little pink cunt. But that was as far as it went. Now she's under the bedsheets, away from my monstrous stares and desires. Drink? I grunt to Mal. He nods as I walk over to the bar cart and pour us both a splash of Yamazaki 18. At the risk of getting my head bitten off for merely mentioning her name, he smirks. How's Anika? I mean, with what happened earlier. I hand him the glass. She's fine. She's sleeping now. That was fucked, Kenzo, he growls quietly. And I know we both know what this marriage is, but still, I'm sorry that it happened at your own fucking wedding. Hey, it beats having to stand there afterward and shake everyone's hand while they all pretend I'm actually in love with my new bride. He chuckles, and when he takes a sip of the Japanese whiskey, his eyes close for a second. Fuck, tastes like home. I smile wryly. Missing Kyoto? He nods. I don't mind New York. It's not the same, though. I sometimes feel like that, too. My brow furrows as Mal turns into the light a little more, and I see a dark mark on the side of his neck, like he got hit by a chain or something. I scowl. Is that from the explosion? What? I nod my chin. Your neck. He frowns and his hand comes up to touch the spot. Something flashes across his face I can't quite place. Before I can dwell on it any longer, the look fades and he shakes it away. No idea. Probably. He clears his throat. I nod to the bandage on his forehead. And how's the noggin? I'll live, Kenzo. He sighs. Anyway, I've been flipping over stones to see if anything crawls out regarding that fucking bomb. And? He shakes his head. Nothing. Whoever it was, the attack wasn't specifically on us or Sota, not directly. I even went looking for trouble myself and met up with Nam Dae-hyun. My brow raises sharply. Are you fucking serious? Dae-hyun runs a mid-level Kangpei, a Korean crime syndicate here in New York. I wouldn't say we're exactly at war with them, but let's just say Nam wouldn't brake very fast if he saw me or a family member crossing the street in front of his car. Mal grins. I interrupted him while he was trying to cop a happy ending at a massage parlor. He wasn't thrilled. I shake my head. That was reckless, but hilarious, he snickers. Anyway, I pressed him pretty hard about what happened. Like, gave him every opportunity to take ownership of the attack or even just lie about it. That guy would walk over nails or sell his own mother just to claim he drew blood from us. Nothing? He shakes his head. Nope, it wasn't him. It wasn't anyone he even knows, which crosses the last names off my list of potentials. He takes a heavy drink from his glass. Whoever that was, they weren't gunning for us. You're sure? Mal clears his throat. You want to double-check my math? Nam decided to be an idiot and tried to jump me as I was leaving his interrupted handjob session. I scowl. You good? I'm fine. He shrugs. But if you want to ask him yourself about his involvement in tonight, I could make that happen. Quickly. Mal grins. He may or may not be downstairs in the trunk of my car if you want to take a little drive. I raise a brow. But you don't think he was involved? No. He did, however, express a fairly strong hope that whoever it was tries again and doesn't miss you or your new wife next time. That black, molten lava surges through my chest again. I trust Mal's judgment. If he says so, then I'll believe that Nam didn't have anything to do with the bombing. He's still an asshole, though. Senseless violence is usually more Takeshi's line. But what can I say? It's been a night. Why don't we go double-check with Nam? I growl quietly. An hour later, I'm back in my penthouse. Mal is back at Sota's. Nam Dae-hyun is at Mount Sinai, presumably getting his jaw wired shut and his broken arm put in a cast. Hopefully they can inject him with some manners while he's there. I pad quietly into my bedroom, shedding my shirt and pants along the way. I stand at the foot of the bed, watching Annika sleep, illuminated by the neon lights of New York. Mal was right. We weren't the target of tonight's attack. My jaw tightens as my gaze sweeps over the woman I just married. I'm still confused why considering that she might have been the target tonight fills me with such rage, fury, wrath, and the unbreakable need to make sure that does not happen.
Chapter 14. Annika. Confusion wraps around me like a thick fog as I slowly open my eyes. It's dark. the only light the slight glow of the city coming in through the shades. For a minute, I'm unclear where I am as my eyes slowly adjust and take in the unfamiliar bedroom. Then, as consciousness slowly sinks its claws into me, and the pain of the vodka comes back swinging, it all begins to fall slowly into place. Kenzo's bedroom. That's where I am. That's where I groan. That's where he carried me, after I drank way too much, way too fast. After... Oh, God. My face heats as it all slams back. After I told him to fuck me, even if I was drunk and out cold. I wince, and my head starts to throb. So does the body against my back. Wait, what? I tense, my eyes going wide as I feel warm skin and hard, grooved muscles pressed tight to me. It's him. Kenzo is sleeping next to me, with his arms slung over me. He's all sharp edges, heated skin, strong muscles, and... My eyes bulge even wider as I shift against him. Holy fuck. He's hard. Like, extremely so. And extremely big. A shiver ripples up my spine as I feel the hot weight of his throbbing erection against my ass. It's only then that I realize I'm naked. But even though that brings up all sorts of questions, none of them seems to matter right now. All I can think about is the electric heat where his thick cock is twitching against me. Part of me thinks I should get out of this bed right now. Yeah, I still have questions about what's going on and why he's here with me. But, I mean, it is his bed. There's a perfectly good couch out there in the main living room I could adjourn to for the remainder of the night. But I don't move. I don't want to. My bottom lip dips between my teeth. Heat floods my face, and I push back a little. Fuck, he is big. His swollen dick is pressed lengthwise to the crease of my ass, and it feels like there's a fucking forearm back there. I arch my back a little, my breath becoming ragged and gasping as I push back. Then I do it again, feeling his length slide up and down my ass crack as my cheeks part a little more. Holy fuck. My breath catches as his thick shaft slides between them. I grind again, shuddering when I feel the hot underside of him gliding back and forth over my asshole. An electric zap tingles through me. My nipples tighten to hard points. My core clenches. My thighs turn slick. I need to get out of this bed. I need to stop this madness. But I can't. My eyes flutter closed, and my breathing becomes even more ragged as I push back again, grinding my ass on his fat cock.
Such an eager little slut.
Jesus! My eyes fly open as my body jolts in spasms, as if to lunge away from him. But before I can, the arm over me wraps tight around my body, pinning me hard against his thick cock. I squirm, my pulse jangling as I try to escape. Kenzo doesn't budge.
Did you find something you wanted to play with, princess?
He mutters, his arm tightening around my squirming body as his lips find my ear. I whimper and then gasp sharply as he nips at my earlobe, biting me again. I mean, is he part wolf? What the fuck is with the biting? Not, mind you, that I'm complaining. He rolls his hips against me, sliding his cock up and down the cleft of my ass. My eyes roll back, my breath coming in staccato gasps as his shaft rubs back and forth against my back hole. Where? I swallow. Where are my clothes?
I removed them.
You can't. My words choke off as he pulls his hips back further, making my body ripple with forbidden need as his swollen head bumps against my puckered hole before his entire shaft glides back up between my ass cheeks. You can't do this when I'm asleep.
I didn't do anything while you were asleep.
He rumbles against my shoulder.
Though maybe I should have, since you begged me to.
Shame and heat flood my face even as an aching need pulses in my core.
Can't rape the willing. Isn't that right, princess?
His big cock rubs back and forth against me.
Is this where you wanted me to take you first, princess?
I bite down on my lip as he grabs my ass with his big palms and spreads me a little more. He angles the throbbing, swollen head of his huge dick against my asshole and my eyes widen.
Did you want me to fuck your ass like a filthy, dirty little cockslut while you were asleep? Although I don't think you'd stay that way for very long.
He growls. His hand slides around to my front and cups one of my bare breasts. I whimper when he roughly rolls and pinches my swollen nipple.
I very much doubt that even drunk you'd sleep through my hungry cock pushing into this tight, hot, needy little hole for the first time.
There's always a dark aura around Kenzo. But right now, it's at a level I've never seen before. It's like a being of pure malice and supernatural malevolence is at my back, rendering me helpless.
No, princess,
he murmurs, shifting his hips.
Not yet. Tonight, it being our wedding night, it's only fitting that I claim and ruin another of your greedy little holes.
His cock slips away from my ass. Suddenly, my eyes are starting from my head as I feel the heavy, swollen shaft slip between my thighs. His fat cock pushes over my slick, velvety lips, parting them around his girth as the crown glides over my sex. Holy fucking hell. His fingers mercilessly tease and pinch my nipples until they're on fire and my breasts feel deliciously bruised by his touch. His hips roll, guiding his fat cock back and forth over my pussy, spreading my wetness all over my thighs and his shaft as I whimper and try to stop from moaning.
I wanted you awake for this, princess,
he murmurs darkly, letting his head slip between my lips and rest against my opening for a second. My breath quickens.
I almost fucked you while you weren't,
he rasps into my ear.
But this first time, I want you thinking of me when I fuck you.
The thing is, I was. When I awoke just now, it was from a vivid dream, the kind that leaves your body tingling with dampness between your thighs. In the dream, he was already taking me. Now he's really going to. Kenzo grinds his thick cock back and forth across my lips again and again, the bulging head rubbing over my clit and driving me wild as I grab a fistful of the sheets and squirm against him. He's just so big all over. His muscles, his height, his shoulder width, his cock. I'm not a small woman. I mean, I'm 5'10". But even I feel dwarfed by his massive size. His hand slides from my breast to my throat. Even in the dim light, I spot something that gives me pause for a second. You're bleeding, I choke hoarsely.
It's not mine.
He wraps his fingers around my throat.
Remember this moment, princess,
he growls, centering his swollen head against my opening as my lips spread around him.
Because this is the moment I make you mine.
Oh, fuck. My jaw goes slack, my eyes widening in a stunned, gasping flinch as Kenzo's huge cock begins to sink into me. Wait.
No.
I moan as he drives another fat inch into me, arresting my breath as my pulse skyrockets. No, I mean, I choke back another whimper. Do you have a condom?
No.
With a low, masculine groan, Kenzo feeds another inch of his massive cock into my eager, swollen pussy. But, shit, I gasp, whimpering as he starts to push deeper and deeper into me. I'm not on...
I don't care.
One hand tightens on my hip. The other one wraps like iron around my throat as his teeth rake down my shoulder. Then, suddenly, two things happen simultaneously. Kenzo bites down hard on my shoulder, hard enough that I'm sure he breaks the skin. Just as he does so, and the pain spikes through my system, he rams into me, burying every single thick inch of his fat cock deep in my eager pussy. The combination is like a rush of blood to the head. I cry out, writhing and moaning as my back arches and my toes curl and kick at the sheets. Fuck, that's good. It's pure ecstasy. My body melts against his as his arm tightens around me, his fingers splayed out on my neck, digging into my throat as he rolls his muscled hips back. I can feel every thick inch of his huge cock sliding out of me, and my lips clinging to it as if I don't want to let him go. He keeps pulling out until just the head is spreading me open, teasing against me. Then he drives right back in.
There's my good little fuck toy.
He growls darkly into my ear as our bodies begin to grind together. He starts to fuck me harder, ramming his cock into my slickness as I whine and whimper eagerly.
Such a greedy little cunt I found here. So fucking desperate for my cock.
I moan deeply, almost unable to move from the powerful way he's gripping me and pinning me to his huge body. His hips thrust forward, slapping my ass sharply as his thick cock is buried to the hilt inside me.
My wife.
Kenzo rasps against my neck.
In every.
He rams in again.
Single.
I cry out as he fucks me deep and hard.
Sense.
Slam.
Of the word.
His hand on my ass winds up and spanks it, hard. I whimper and sob in pleasure, writhing against him as he does it again and again. He grabs my leg, lifting it to give him more access, pushing that enormous dick even deeper into me. I can feel his abs pounding against my ass with each vicious stroke. His heavy balls slap my clit, and the fingers on my neck squeeze, dimming my vision. My eyes roll back in my head as his teeth rake savagely down my skin. As his fingers dig into me, as he half rolls me over, pinning me to the bed as he starts to fuck the living shit out of me with his hand around my throat. It is, unquestionably, the most savage, wild, and brutal way I have ever been fucked before. It's like nothing I've ever even imagined or fantasized about. It's even better. Rougher, harder, more aggressive and animalistic. The feel of his massive body pinning me helplessly to the bed as he takes his pleasure from me throws me into the stratosphere, sending me reeling, ecstasy exploding through my core.
Now be a good girl.
He hisses into my ear.
And stop holding back. Don't make me spank the orgasm out of you, princess. Be a good little cum-slut and come all over my fat cock. Let me feel your greedy little pussy gush all over me. Show me how fucking mine you are, wife.
His swollen cock rams deep as my body wrenches and spasms. My breath catches and my vision goes black. And then, I'm coming harder than I've ever come in my life. It's like detaching from reality. Like my body is blowing into a million pieces as he fucks me into my release. I scream into the bed, clawing at the sheets, clenching them in my fists, biting them with my teeth. My eyes squeeze shut, my legs kicking out behind me as the spasming, shuddering tidal wave of my orgasm explodes through my core.
There's a good girl.
Kenzo groans low in my ear, not even slowing, fucking me right through my orgasm.
There's my good little slut. I can feel your greedy cunt squeezing every inch of my cock, desperate for me to fill it with my cum.
My eyes fly open. Wait! I yelp as he fucks into me hard and mercilessly, his swollen cock spreading me wide and utterly claiming me. Wait, you can't come in.
Yes, I can, and yes, I will.
Holy fuck. It's the demanding tone in his words that shoves me over the edge all over again. I explode, screaming into and biting the sheets as I come undone. Kenzo groans, burying his fat cock balls deep in me as I feel him swell and surge. He grunts, and I whimper when I feel the hot flood of his cum spill into me. And I know that nothing is ever going to be the same again. Chapter 15. Annika. It's light out the second time I wake up. Alone. I blink myself out of the haze of sleep. Feeling nobody at my back, I roll over, almost expecting him to be there. But it's just me in the bed as the morning sunlight peeks through the shades and into Kenzo's bedroom. I close my eyes, sinking into the pillows again. Holy hell. Whatever last night was, it was beyond intense, beyond comprehension and anything I've ever even dared myself to fantasize about. It was fucking good. My head hurts a little, a lingering gift from the obscene amount of vodka I downed in 20 minutes flat last night. And I know I was still less than sober when what happened. But I have zero regrets. Yes, Kenzo might be an arrogant, walking asshole with control issues. We might not even like each other very much. But if I'm going to be legitimately married to someone, especially someone with a flair for possessiveness who I'd guess is the last man on earth to be okay with me seeking it elsewhere, then I suppose it's pretty fucking great that we seem to have fantastic physical chemistry. Silver lining to every cloud and all that. I sit up in bed, wincing as another throb of the hangover stabs into my temples. Then I tense up as I spread my legs a little gingerly. Fuck, am I sore. Like, everywhere, but especially between my legs. I open them wider, holding the sheets away from my naked body to glance down at myself. What the actual shit? It looks like I went 9 rounds in a cage match with a prize fighter. Or maybe a goddamn tiger. There are claw marks on me, for fuck's sake. Bruises cover my breasts, my hips, my ass, and my thighs. And when I bring my hand up to the soreness wringing my neck, I feel more bruises there. I grit my teeth as I glance over my shoulder, making a face at the fucking bite mark there. Okay, last night was crazy good. But I don't know if I'll survive another session like that with him again. I consider that I don't actually have any clothes as I swing my legs out of bed. There's my wedding dress, but I don't see it anywhere. Who knows what Kenzo did with it after he took it off me last night? While I was sleeping. Something wicked, dark and illicit sparks inside me as I let that sink in. The man stripped me naked while I was asleep. He could have done anything. Part of me wonders if he did, even though he said he didn't. And an even more fucked up part of me gets excited at the prospect that he might have. You need fucking help, self. I get out of bed and start to wrap the comforter around myself. Then I spot the pile of folded clothes on the end of the bed, which I'm guessing are for me. Sweatpants and a hoodie. I can already tell just by looking at them that I'm going to be swimming in them. Still, better than walking out there naked. Nothing he hasn't seen, but again, I'm not sure if I'd survive if he decided to have a round 2 this morning. As good as that honestly sounds. I chase the thought away as I venture into Kenzo's bathroom and turn on the shower. The water stings at first as it cascades over my bruised body, and forget facing the spray. My nipples say hell to the fuck no to that. But as the warm steam envelops me, the aches and soreness slowly melt a little. 3 aspirins and a quick towel dry later, I'm slipping into the crazy oversized sweatpants and hoodie that I'm sure are his. On the plus side, the enormous hood acts as a giant baggy turtleneck, hiding the vicious bruises around my throat. Although, something tells me he'd like to see those. Like a beast likes to smell its scent on a trail, or a conquering king likes to place his flag on the enemy's palace. The smell of sweet, merciful coffee hits me when I walk out of Kenzo's bedroom. I start to walk toward it, but I suddenly jump as a tall, dark figure steps menacingly out of the doorway to what looks like a study of some kind. Takashi glares down at me, jutting out his chin at me. "Good morning?" I mumble, frowning up at him. Kenzo's brother doesn't have the highest opinion of me, and I can't imagine me slashing his tires when I thought they were Kenzo's did much to improve that sentiment.
"Morning,"
he grunts, his brow furrowing deeper.
"I got an email earlier to schedule the delivery of a motorcycle I didn't buy."
I resist the urge to grin. Yeah? I mean, Takashi might not like me, but my beef is with his brother, not him. And since Hana has turned out to be so frickin' cool, and Takashi is her twin, let's just say that while we were in Montreal, before my phone died, I may have made a little purchase as a peace offering.
"Yeah,"
Takashi scowls.
"a Kawasaki ZX-10R.
Wow. I nod thoughtfully. That's a pretty sweet ride. I didn't just replace his tires. I bought him a whole new bike. Go big or go home, right? Takashi eyes me, his muscled arms folded over his broad chest.
"Your adoptive daddy foot the bill for that."
"Did yours? For your last bike?"
"I pay my own way, witch,"
he snaps coldly. "Funny. So do I." His mouth twists.
"Don't try to buy loyalty from me."
I sigh. I wasn't buying shit. It was an apology. I lift a shoulder. I shouldn't have fucked with your bike. I was mad.
And?
God, is nothing easy with any of the Mori brothers? And I'm sorry. Truly. It was shitty of me. Takashi glares at me a moment longer. I nod at the phone in his hand. You see it's coming with the new Akrapovich exhaust mount? Takashi cocks a brow. For 1 second, his usual mask of violence and bloodlust slips a little, and I might have even caught a glimpse of something approaching impressed.
You know bikes?
I nod. Yep.
Why, because you fucking steal them?
Yep. He smirks. I mean, partly.
What's the other part?
Takashi growls. That I don't get caught when I steal them because I know how to ride, too. Takashi's lips curl up a little at the corners.
What were you mad about? At the hospital?
I stay silent.
My brother?
I glance away and he chuckles.
Yeah, he's good at that.
He smirks. Then he exhales.
Okay, it's a pretty fucking sweet bike.
You're welcome.
I wasn't thanking you. Though it would have been nice to have it delivered to Kyoto instead of here.
Oh, are you going back to Kyoto? Takashi grins widely as his brows shoot up.
Shit. This is going to be good.
I'm fucking sorry! I snap coldly as I barge into the kitchen. Kenzo looks up from where he's sitting at the counter with a cup of coffee and scowls at me.
Yes. Can I help you?
Kyoto? I'm not moving to fucking Kyoto! He exhales slowly.
Well, I am, and you're my wife. So
go fuck yourself, I hurl back. I'm not going.
You can come or you can be brought. Which is to say, you can accompany me willingly, or I can make you.
Like you made me last night? Okay, that's a cheap shot. And a shitty thing to say when we were both so clearly into what transpired last night, including the use of force and him pinning me down and continuing even when I said no.
Excuse me.
Kenzo growls, a warning note in his voice. I ignore it. I was blind drunk and you knew it. I snap. The phrase taken advantage of comes to mind. Wouldn't you agree?
Certainly not.
He snarls coldly, rising from his chair in a way that sends a bolt of lightning through my core.
And I do not take kindly to being accused of something like that.
I swallow in embarrassment. Yeah, I have overstepped big time. Well,
nothing.
he spits, storming over to me and looming down into my face.
You were wide awake.
And you just helped yourself to my bed.
Technically.
He grabs my wrist.
It's my bed, and married people tend to share them.
I tug at my arm. Let go of me.
No, not until you admit that you came like a greedy little slut all over my cock last night. Several times.
I look down, my face throbbing.
Well,
I shrug.
I'm waiting.
Fine, I mutter, blushing fiercely. Fine! It was... good.
That's not what I asked.
Okay,
You will look at me when you're talking to me, princess.
I fume, my teeth grinding as I drag my gaze up to his. The minute I lock eyes with his gorgeous black ones, all the fiery sass in me snuffs out. Fine, okay, I mumble.
Fine, okay. What?
Oh my God, he's going to make me say it to his face. Asshole. I draw in a breath, squaring my shoulders. Fine, okay, I breathe. I came, okay?
Like?
Kenzo just smiles, raising a brow.
Anytime, princess.
Like a...
Starts with a G, rhymes with needy little slut.
I shoot him a withering glare. I came, I mutter darkly. Like a greedy little slut. His brow cocks expectantly, and I sigh. Several times.
Good girl.
He lets go of my wrist and I yank it back, trying to squash down the tingling, needy feeling I get from being called that. Kenzo turns and walks back to his coffee. You didn't use a condom. He sips from his mug, not looking at me.
I did not.
Well?
Well, what?
I stare at him open-mouthed. Well, pregnancy is a thing, I snap. And who the fuck knows what I could have caught from you? He glares at me.
Right back at you.
I glare back. I do not have any STDs. Ass.
Well, I don't know that.
I do, I blurt. As for you, who knows where you've been sticking that thing?
That thing doesn't like to be called that thing.
He frowns. I honestly couldn't give less of a shit. And please don't tell me you've named your dick.
I haven't,
he mutters.
That includes that thing.
I roll my eyes. What I'm saying is, who the hell knows where you've been?
I do,
he hisses.
And it's nowhere bad.
I wrinkle my nose. I really don't want to talk about it. Kenzo snorts.
No, you know what? I think we should. How about you? Where have you been?
I fix him with a withering look. You're an asshole.
And you're avoiding the question.
Trust me, I mutter. I don't have any STDs, okay? Kinda easy to be sure of that when you've only slept with one person ever and tested clean after you managed to escape them. Kenzo rolls his eyes.
What, are you actually trying to sell me on you being a 33-year-old virgin?
Fuck off, I mutter, turning away from him.
Give me a list.
I whirl back. Excuse me?
A list.
Of? His face darkens.
All the men you've been with.
My jaw drops as I stare at him with fury in my eyes. Are you even fucking for real right now?
Do I look like I'm joking, princess?
I spin to leave. Suddenly, I'm yanked backward and around as he grabs my arm.
The fuck you are. Let's not forget that there are two things going on here. You're my wife to stop a war. But you'll be whatever else I want you to be.
He hisses quietly.
As your punishment.
For what? I spit. Having a frickin' sex life before you? His jaw grinds.
No, for fucking drugging me and stealing from me.
I shiver at the sheer malevolence in his eyes, leveled at mine. What does that entail? I mumble. Kenzo's lips curl. I tremble as he leans down and whispers in my ear.
Whatever I want.
I try and fail to ignore the needy throb that pulses in my core. So what? You want to fuck me again? Is that what this is going to be? He chuckles quietly to himself, pulling away, shaking his head and fixing me with an amused look.
So greedy and eager.
My face flushes with heat. That was meant as an insult.
It came off as desperate and needy, but okay.
Fuck you, I snap. How about this? Hard pass.
2.
I smile smugly. Sex. I'll be your wife in public, but that's it. Enjoy your blue balls because you'll be getting nothing from... He yanks me into him, spinning us and pinning the small of my back to the kitchen island behind me. My thighs squeeze tight as he looms over me and cups my jaw, lifting my face to his in this outrageously possessive, dominant way that does things to me.
Here's what's going to happen.
He growls quietly.
You're going to say it again.
I gulp. Say what, exactly? His smile says it all. I shake my head. Not happening.
It is. Admit that you came like a greedy little slut all over my cock last night. Several times.
I glare up at him. He smirks right back. The tension crackles between us until finally I can't take the fierceness of his gaze any longer. Okay, fine, I mumble. Whatever. Yes, I orgasmed.
Once again, that was not my question.
My breath stutters as he leans down into me, his eyes slicing me in two.
Say it.
My face flushes as something unignorable twists and pulls at my center. My blush spreads and darkens. I came a lot last night, I mumble.
Like?
I try to look away, but his grip on my chin tightens, pulling my eyes right back to his. Like a greedy little slut, I whisper hoarsely.
Where?
Oh my God, he can't be serious.
Where, princess?
I wet my lips, my breath coming faster. All over your cock. Just saying it has my core melting and heat pooling between my thighs. Kenzo smirks, a supremely arrogant look of triumph on his face. But he doesn't pull away. His hand doesn't leave my chin as he holds it fast.
Good girl.
Sweet fucking hell. I was wet before. Now I'm soaked.
I'll bet this pretty little pussy is nice and fucking messy for me now, isn't it?
I'm already shaking. When I feel his other hand slide over my hip, my skin pebbles to goosebumps. His fingers deftly slip under the hem of my baggy hoodie, teasing across bare skin as he slowly circles to my front, dancing his fingertips over my stomach. He leans down to my ear. My breath involuntarily sucks in as I feel his hand slip into the waistband of the sweatpants.
Let's find out.
His warm palm presses to my skin as his big hand pushes down into the sweats. My entire body trembles, and I bite back a whimper as his touch moves lower and lower. Slowly, his thick finger rolls over my swollen clit and sinks between my lips. My world blurs at the edges, and I moan as I cling to the counter behind me. My hips begin to move on their own, pushing forward as his finger runs up and down my lips in a teasing motion.
What a fucking messy pussy.
I groan, sucking in air through clenched teeth as he suddenly sinks a finger into me. It's not the 3 from last night, and it's nowhere near the size of his cock. But it's still so fucking good. Kenzo curls his finger inside, stroking against my G-spot as I start to writhe between him and the counter. My breath turns halting and haggard, my core clenching, my eyes rolling back.
You want me to fuck you again, princess?
Kenzo breathes into my ear. His teeth come out to play, biting sharply on my earlobe before his mouth drops to my neck. I'm still so fucking sore there, but I don't care. I crave the pain when he bites down, putting bruises on top of bruises as his finger strokes in and out of me.
That's what you want, isn't it? You want me to spread your legs and ram my thick cock deep into your pretty pink pussy until you're coming all over me like a greedy little slut. You want me to empty my fucking balls inside you again.
I'm hanging onto the counter for dear life as my whole world begins to shatter. I can feel my walls gripping his finger tightly and my core clenching as the wave begins to crest over me.
You want me to make the slutty little pussy come, my good girl.
My whole face scrunches up, and my mouth falls open as I prepare to fall over the edge. Abruptly, Kenzo's finger slips out of me. He yanks his hand out of my sweats as my eyes fly open in confusion and protest. What? Kenzo is smiling coldly at me, his eyes full of gloating smugness as he leans close to my ear again.
Hard pass.
I choke and sputter.
Enjoy the blue balls, princess.
Without another word, he turns and walks out of the kitchen, leaving me shaking and clinging to the counter, with a mortifying and now uncomfortable wetness dripping down my thighs. Asshole. Chapter 16. Annika. Even though I've been here about a zillion times, I'm always struck by the sheer opulence of Kier's mansion whenever I step inside. Or even drive through the grand front gates, past the guards that watch as you make your way up the curved white stone driveway to the massive front door beneath the portico. I mean, the place is gorgeous. Kier keeps an apartment in Manhattan, but he's had this house up in the Bronx for years. It's an older home that was once owned by the Vanderbilts. Yeah, those Vanderbilts. During the Gilded Age, complete with gold inlay everything, white and rose marble, soaring vaulted ceilings, and priceless impressionist and modern art on the walls. The grounds are gorgeous, with roses, fountains, and perfectly manicured hedges, and it even boasts an underground garage large enough for Kier's, and Damien's, vast collection of classic cars. I remember almost being put off by the display of wealth at first. I mean, I grew up with money. Taylor and I lived extremely well in Serbia, in a mansion bigger than this one, with sprawling fairy tale grounds. But there's an added something to Kier's estate that gives it an edge. Maybe it's the fact that this is only one of 7 homes he owns, all equally breathtaking. For a long time, when I was out on my own, money like that didn't make you powerful to me. It made you a mark. I also equated wealth with lousy character. The people I'd encountered who had that sort of money were almost always insufferable, arrogant shitheads. But Kier changed my thoughts on that as he moved from someone I did business with to essentially family. Because he really is different. He came from nothing, bled, fought, and almost died on the streets, and then built an empire from scratch. Now he's a literal billionaire who runs one of the most powerful Bratva families on the planet, and even sits at the iron table. There's no arrogance or shitty character, just steely resolve and unwavering strength. And, okay, a little dash of violence. That's a Bratva for you. I find him in his office, pacing the room with a scowl on his face and his phone glued to his ear. He catches sight of me but doesn't smile, just shoots me a look and holds up a finger up before whirling to bark into the phone in Russian. I used to think it was odd that Kier never married, or even dated. For a while, Freya and I nurtured a pet theory that he was gay but closeted because he had decided that having a boyfriend wasn't a good look for him as head of a major Bratva family. Which is a stupid idea, but who knows? As time went on, though, we ditched that theory. It's not that Kier prefers the company of men. He's just married to his empire. A little over 40, the man has the physique of a professional athlete half his age, outrageously good looks, a full head of hair, and piercing blue eyes. And for real, the guy needs some female company in his life besides Frey and me. Like that kind of female company. I wait until he's done tearing someone a new one in Russian. When he's done with the call, he rolls his neck and cracks his knuckles before turning back to me.
You,
he grunts, as in, your turn to get chewed out. I frown. What? I wanted to talk to you about this insane idea that I'm moving to fucking Japan.
sit.
The fuck? Kier never addresses me like this, or commands me. Excuse me? His Paul Newman blue eyes glint dangerously.
I said sit, Annika.
My brow furrows even deeper. There's something about this tone, at least this tone being used on me, that's unnerving. I walk over and sit on one of the sofas near the large black marble fireplace set into the bookshelves of his office. Kier remains standing as he leans against the mantel and folds his arms over his broad chest. What's going?
You got involved with Alkan Gossaferi.
Oh, fuck me. I clear my throat. What? No!
God damn it, Annika.
Kier hisses.
Do not lie to my fucking face.
I grimace, my shoulders sagging. Who told you?
You. Just now.
He spits. Double fuck me.
But I had a hunch before you just confirmed it.
I grit my teeth and look away. A hunch? Or Isaac had a snoop into my personal business? Kier snorts.
The second you and Freya decided to work with that psychopath, you damn well made it my business too.
He levels a withering look at me and jabs a finger my way.
That was fucking him the other night at Sota's, wasn't it?
I shake my head. I
swear to God, Annika, if you lie to my face twice in one day, there will be consequences.
I honestly don't know, I say miserably. Truthfully.
Full story. Now.
I take a slow, deep breath. Here goes nothing. When I'm done telling Kier about the job we took for Ulkan stealing the Lambo, he stares at me like I'm insane. I mean, he's not far off.
Valon Leka,
he snarls. I resist the urge to flinch when I hear the actual name spoken aloud.
You stole from Valen.
He swears viciously in Russian as he whirls and shoves his fingers through his hair.
Fuck, Arnie,
he hisses.
You know we're in talks to go into business with him.
I look away, my teeth sinking into the flesh inside my mouth. I decided a long time ago that when the man who hurt me, abused me, and gaslit me went from having a name to being exclusively referred to as he who shall not be named by Freya and I, he became a part of my past, buried in a locked box, with the key thrown into the ocean. Then, not so long ago, Kier casually mentioned, to my horror, that he might be going into business with that fucker. I could have told him. I should have told him. I could tell him right now, and there's no doubt in my mind that Kier would immediately go put a bullet in the bastard's head. But the man standing in front of me has given me so fucking much. Purpose, power, a new start in life, protection, family, and love. It's sort of the same as how I keep my messy life separate from Taylor's tidy one. Kier has built this empire from nothing and been kind enough to bring me and Freya along for the ride. He doesn't deserve the chaos I bring with me stemming from my own bad choices. That's why I never have, and never will, tell him the truth about my history with that fuck.
Does he know?
I flinch at the sound of Kier's voice. Sorry, what?
Valen,
he says, totally unaware of the anxiety that name spoken out loud brings me.
Does he know it was you who took the damn car?
I hate lying to Kier, so I rarely do. Today I'm making an exception. No, I shake my head. Not a chance. He exhales slowly, his shoulders unclenching with relief.
Good,
he breathes.
Good.
I clear my throat. So, Kyoto.
You're going.
I stare at him. What?
Annika, someone shot at you the other night.
He hisses tightly.
Then a bomb drove into your wedding.
I swallow. Look, we both know any violence this early in the treaty with Sota could destroy—
You think I give a fuck about the treaty?
He murmurs quietly, his brow furrowing deeply.
Arnie, I give a fuck about you.
He looks at me with genuine pain and concern.
I'm sending you to Japan because I'm worried sick about you.
He hisses.
You're family to me, Annika. I will not sit by idly while any harm comes to you.
I shake my head. Kier, you have men here in New York. I'm completely—
And Kenzo has a fortress and an army.
He growls.
In Kyoto.
I stare at him. Kier—
This isn't a discussion, Annika.
He growls. Fuck that, I hiss, lurching to my feet. I'm not. His phone dings loudly, cutting me off. Kier yanks it angrily from his jacket pocket and glares at it. Hey! I'm still talking! I spit at him. I'm a grown fucking woman, and I am not going to just be sent—
Annika.
Kier's smiling as he looks up at me from the screen.
Damien is awake. Fuck me.
I sigh, grinning as I roll my eyes. First of all, I'm flattered, but I just don't think of you that way. The doctors are only letting us in one at a time to see Damien. Kira pulled rank and went in first. Freya and I played rock, paper, scissors for second, and I lost. But here I am, finally seeing him. He looks, well, like he's been shot. He's a little gaunter than usual, having been lying in a hospital bed for a few weeks instead of spending half of each day at the gym. But he still looks like the Damien I love. Plus, he's alive. He grimaces and shoots me a look.
Don't be gross, Annie.
I grin. Well, and I don't know if you've heard, but I'm a married woman these days. A shadow crosses Damien's face, his lavender eyes darkening.
I fucking hate that you had to do that because of me.
I scowl as I punch him playfully in the arm. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, ow.
He rubs his arm.
Remember the part where I got fucking shot?
Sorry, I quip. I'll hold back on the punching.
Yeah, could you?
He mutters, a small smile on his lips. He exhales and reaches up to run his fingers through his white hair.
Fucking hell. I wake up from one goddamn fight to find you married to Kenzo.
I smile wryly, looking away. I refuse to let my mind drift to the events of last night. Or this morning. It's not your fault, Damien. He shakes his head.
Fuck, I don't know, Arnie. I mean, Alki drew first, I'll say that.
Damien?
But maybe if I just winged him instead of killing him.
He grits his teeth.
Or if I hadn't even been at the club for that meeting.
Damien! I hiss sharply. It is what it is, okay? You know me and dwelling on the past. He smiles wryly.
What's done is done.
Exactly. He grimaces.
I still fucking hate that you had to get married and I wasn't even there to cause a scene and tell Kenzo to go eat a bag of dicks.
No time like the present. He chuckles and then winces, bringing his hand to the bandage covering his healing wound on his side.
So, Kyoto.
He grunts. I roll my eyes. Here's orders.
He's not wrong, you know.
Damien growls.
I mean, he filled me in on all the shit I've missed. New York is too fucking hot right now. When you don't know where your enemy is coming from, or even who the fuck they are, you don't stand your ground and risk getting shot in the back. You retreat and regroup.
That's not my style. He rolls his eyes.
Go to Kyoto, Arnie. Seriously. I may not like Kenzo, but I respect him. He's a prick, but he's a man of his word. And this truce means as much to him and Sota as it does to us. He won't let someone take you out and potentially destroy that fragile piece.
I scowl and look down at my hands.
But also,
he grunts,
the second they spring me from here, I'm flying to Kyoto so I can keep an eye on the fucker who's decided to play house with you.
I grin at him. For real?
Not even a question,
he mutters. I smile as I reach over and squeeze his hand. Okay, fine, I'll go. But do me a favor?
Anything.
Resist your urge to fuck things up and just focus on healing. Damien grins.
I think I can do that.
Good. If you don't, I'll shoot you again myself. Later, I stop by Taylor and Drazen's to talk to my sister about what's going on. You shouldn't have been there and been put in danger like that.
Arnie.
Taylor smiles quietly as she takes my hand.
I know you say your life is messy and complicated, but I mean...
She turns and nods across her and Drazen's ridiculous palace of an apartment, where her husband is standing on one of the balconies high above Central Park on a business call.
I married into messy and complicated. And danger.
She turns back to me.
You don't have to worry about me, ever. With him?
She smiles as she looks at Drazen again with this look of sheer... love, joy, contentment. A synchronicity with another human that I've never felt.
I'm always safe with him. And...
She eyes me.
I want you to be safe too. If that means going to Kyoto until things cool down here...
She shrugs.
Then I think you should go enjoy a little well-earned vacation in Japan.
It's just... My face scrunches up. I just feel like we only just found each other. She smiles as she pulls me close and hugs me tight.
Me too,
she whispers.
But if it's all right with you, I'd like to continue having what we only just got back to. And that requires you remaining alive.
I hug her fiercely. Drazen comes back inside and I hug him too, and make him promise to keep my twins safer than safe. Then it's home to pack. And then it's off into the unknown yet again. Chapter 17. Annika. I've been on private jets before. Kier owns one that's as stunning as his 8 homes, and I'm not gonna lie, that thing is one sweet ride. But flying on Sota's massive 747 is next level. There are 2 floors, complete with a main cabin, individual bedrooms, an office and conference room, a dining area with a frickin' sushi chef, a bar, and a gym. Yes, on a plane. A few hours into the flight, I've already watched Air Force One and Snakes on a Plane. Call me crazy, but it felt like appropriate viewing material for being taken to Japan on a jet against my will. Eventually, my legs need stretching, and I take a little tour. I wind up at the sushi counter, where the chef greets me with a smile and begins to prepare the first course of an omakase tasting menu.
I hope you don't mind if I join you.
Startled, I turn to see Sota. Not at all. I mean... I smile wryly. It's your plane. The older man chuckles as he takes a seat at the counter next to me. The chef bows to his boss, quickly pours a carafe of sake, and slides it over.
Sake?
Sota asks. turning to me. I'm actually taking a small break from drinking. He arches a brow, not looking away. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I shrug. Sota chuckles as the chef delivers 2 little sake cups before bowing again and going back to preparing the sushi.
Jiro doesn't know any English,
Sota says in his beautifully accented voice, nodding to the chef.
Feel free to speak freely.
He pours the sake as Jiro slides a plate in front of each of us with the stunningly arranged slice of hamachi over a light seaweed salad with what looks like sliced yuzu.
Kanpai,
the older Yakuza boss says gruffly, raising his glass. Kanpai.
To a fruitful marriage,
he says quietly. When he clocks the look I can't quite hide quickly enough, he smiles.
It may not have love,
he continues,
but may it at least have peace, respect, and kindness.
Well, that was beautiful. I take a sip of sake and pick up the chopsticks to taste my delicious first course. When I glance over at Sota, I notice something I never have before. My gaze drags down his forearm, over the irezumi ink, until it lands on his right hand, and the pinky finger that's missing the top half.
When I was young,
Sota says, catching me looking and holding his hand up with a wry smile.
I was a bit like Takeshi. Headstrong, impulsive, wild.
He chuckles.
Like Kenzo, too, although he at least keeps a level head.
What happened? I ask, frowning at his finger.
I disrespected my oyabun,
he says matter-of-factly.
In the Yakuza, respect is everything. Luckily, my oyabun was a wise man who saw potential in an otherwise headstrong youth. He could have asked for my heart. Instead, it was only yubitsume.
I stare wide-eyed at his pinky again. He cut your finger off? Sota chuckles and shakes his head as he turns back to his hamachi.
No.
He takes a sip of sake.
I did.
Holy fuck. I mean, the Bratva is serious, and it frequently wanders deep into the hardcore part of the forest. But cutting off your own finger over a slight to your boss is way past that. Sota sighs, glancing at me as we both finish our first plate.
Now you think the Yakuza is savage and merciless.
I could lie to him, but something about Sota makes you want to speak honestly. It's a little extreme to me. Granted, that's just my opinion, not being from that world.
True.
He nods.
But the Bratva is extreme in its own way, is it not?
Good point.
And though you are young and much of it may have been hidden from you, your father's empire was fairly extreme in certain ways as well.
I frown curiously. Sota smiles.
I met him once. Your father.
Shock spreads over my face. Seriously? He nods.
Not for business. We were both in Monaco and played poker together at a table. He was good.
He chuckles ruefully.
He took a lot of money from me that night.
I smile privately. I don't think of my parents very often, but every once in a while I allow myself to, like a little treat.
Yes, the Yakuza can be savage and extreme.
Sota says as Jiro puts another plate, uni this time, in front of us.
But it's what saved me as a young man. I think it's what saved Kenzo's father Hideo, too. He was my best friend, you know. And I understand that at a certain point, he wanted out for his family. But to me, the Yakuza is my family. It's my greatest love.
He says fiercely, turning to me.
I believe it's what saved Kenzo, too.
From? He shrugs.
He could easily have stayed in England with his mother. God rest her soul. He could have lived his life on the periphery of the aristocracy, never quite being accepted into their ranks. But blood speaks, and his blood brought him back to Japan. Back to the Yakuza. It's through that savageness and extremism that he's found himself. And now...
He turns to raise his glass to me, smiling.
It's how he's found you.
I smile back as I touch my cup to his. Kanpai, Sota-san. He grins.
Kanpai, Anika.
After a lovely dinner with Sota, I meander toward the back of the plane, to the office and conference room area. It's unclear how long I'm going to be in Kyoto, but I've been prepping for an acquisition for Kier, and we're planning to make our move in the next 3 months. That means getting Kier's army of corporate lawyers and finance nerds all on the same page. Hey, this is the job. I'm on a video call on my laptop, sitting at the desk facing the rest of the conference room. Suddenly, the door to the room opens, and my face flushes a little as Kenzo walks in. I drag my eyes back to the screen, nodding at something someone's just said into my earbud. Then I'm aware of Kenzo walking right over to me. Excuse me 1 second, I say politely. I tap a button, muting my mic and turning off my camera as Kenzo leans against the desk right next to my monitor. Can I help you? I mutter.
Maybe.
He growls, a spark of something dangerous in his eyes. My core flutters and my face heats, but I swallow it back as I glare at him. I'm on a video call. He smirks.
Just what do you think I want that can't be done on a video call?
My cheeks throb. If you don't mind, some of us have work to do. I push at his hip, nudging him off the edge of the desk until he's out of view of the camera. Excuse me, I say brusquely, turning back to the monitor and pushing the button to turn the camera and the mic back on. One of Kier's lawyers is going over some contractual stuff. My focus is suddenly broken by movement past the monitor. I glance up, and my eyes bulge when I see Kenzo standing by the conference table, unbuttoning his black dress shirt and peeling it off his muscled, tattooed shoulders. My lip catches between my teeth as I watch him drape it neatly over the back of a conference table chair. His hands drop to his belt and start to undo it. That's when I hit the mute and camera off button again. What the fuck are you doing? He pulls off his pants, hanging them neatly over the chair next to his shirt. Then he turns to me, and I suck in a breath of air as I drink in his frickin' insane body. I mean, the man looks fucking photoshopped. Hello? I hiss. What the fuck? Kenzo shrugs.
It's another good few hours to Japan. I'm getting comfortable.
Well, can you please do that somewhere else? Someone is calling my name in my ear. Shit. I quickly swing back to the monitor and unmute myself again, turning the camera back on. My apologies, the Wi-Fi isn't great. I'm actually flying to Japan at the moment. I almost fall out of my chair when my eyes snap to the scene unfolding in front of me. Kenzo has walked right up to the desk, casually standing next to it just out of view of the camera, running a hand over his chiseled jaw. He's completely naked. My mouth falls open. I can't help it. My eyes drop straight to his dick. I mean, for fuck's sake, it's right there. He's not even hard, but the fricking thing is still huge and thick, and looks heavy as it hangs between his thighs.
Excuse me, don't you have a video call to attend to?
How can I? My full attention is embarrassingly fixated on Kenzo's cock. How the actual fuck did that fit inside me? Like, within the boundaries of biology. I want to reiterate that he's not even hard right now.
Anika?
I rip my attention back to Kier's lawyer on the screen, blushing furiously. I apologize, Sean. There's a serious delay with this connection. Can you go ahead and email me the rest of the contract so I can look it over? I'll set up a follow-up call once I've landed and settled in, and we can circle back to these points. I want them set in stone before we walk into that conference room looking for blood.
Sounds good, Annika.
Sean smiles.
Enjoy the flight. We'll talk later.
I end the call and turn to glare daggers at Kenzo. He's already walking away, giving me an eyeful of his, I hate to admit it, absurdly sculpted, perfect ass. I'm sorry. Is there something wrong with you? He half turns, arching a brow as he smirks at me from across the room, pulling on gray sweatpants and a black t-shirt that fits snug around his biceps.
I wouldn't have pegged you as a circle back to these points kind of girl.
Is there a legitimate reason you came in here? Or is it just fun for you to bother me? He smirks.
We should discuss our needs.
My brow furrows. Excuse me?
Our needs. Sexually, I mean.
I roll my eyes, but my face pulses with heat as my every brain cell fixates on last night. His hands on me. His possessive power and dominance over me. The filthy way he talked to me, and touched me, and fucked me like I've never even imagined. I swallow. I don't know why we need to.
Every human has them.
Kenzo says evenly.
We're married, so we should discuss them.
His lips curl up coyly.
What, for example, are your kinks?
I stammer, flustered. Kinks? I don't. I catch my breath. I don't have any. Kenzo snorts.
Everyone does. Do you enjoy sex?
My face tingles.
It would appear you do.
He purrs.
But I'd like to make sure.
I mean, I do now. I didn't, for the years I was under his control. After that, I just didn't have it. Ever. Until I did, with this man standing in front of me.
I could guess.
Kenzo goes on.
And you could just tell me yes or no. Or even just give a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Jesus, are we seriously doing this? I blurt, standing and crossing to the far side of the conference room.
We're married, princess.
He growls quietly as he takes a seat at one of the conference table chairs.
We should know where the boundaries lie.
His lips turn up in a wicked smile.
Or indeed, if there are any boundaries.
I shiver as his dark eyes stab into me.
You did mention something about not being able to rape the willing.
My eyes widen as fire erupts across my face. That...
So maybe it's a rape kink.
He growls. Forbidden heat creeps up my spine and throbs in my core.
Consensual non-consent, as they're calling it these days.
When I don't answer, because I don't trust myself to speak, he just smiles.
I'll take that as a maybe. How about bondage?
I don't want to talk about...
Also a maybe.
He says calmly. I glare at him. I didn't say that.
You didn't say no, either.
My lips purse. Okay, no. No bondage. I mumble, completely unconvincingly.
Final answer.
I bite my lip. Kenzo smirks.
Staying on the maybe list, then.
What about you? I snap back. What gets you going? Mommy issues? He looks amused.
Low blow, but no.
Fisting? I blurt, going for the weirdest shit I can think of. Pissing on people? Kenzo's brows arch, an amused look on his face.
No, but if that's your thing, I'm sure I can be convinced to give it a try.
Absolutely not.
Which one?
My face throbs. Both!
Are you sure about that?
I roll my eyes. Will you just tell me whatever weird thing you're into so I can tell you it's not happening and we can move on? He shrugs.
Gladly.
His eyes fix on me.
Bondage.
He growls. Oh. Yeah, that's not a maybe for me. It might be a yes. But like most things sexual, it's been tainted for me. It's been weaponized and used to control me by a man I loathe. Still, to say I've never fantasized about being tied down, or otherwise immobilized, and used would be a lie. Kenzo stands and slowly crosses the room to the corner I've retreated to, until he's standing right in front of me.
Control,
he murmurs quietly. He reaches up, and I shudder when the back of his finger lightly brushes my throat.
Free use.
My face blooms with forbidden heat as my thighs tighten. Kenzo smirks.
I'll take it from that, you know what that is.
I swallow, my breath coming faster. Yes.
Anytime, anywhere.
He growls darkly.
I have control over you.
Just you over me? I toss back, in a vain attempt to keep myself on some semblance of an equal footing.
Or we can make it go both ways.
I roll my eyes. How generous! And if I say no?
Are you?
He murmurs, his fingers slowly stroking up and down the side of my throat.
Saying no.
I swallow hard, but say nothing.
Another maybe.
Kenzo purrs.
My, this is getting interesting.
He drops his hand and turns, walking calmly to one of the chairs at the conference table behind him and sitting.
Come here.
It's not just the soft but commanding tone. It's not the stupidly hot British accent. It's the way he crooks his finger at me in that come hither way. It just does something to me. Before I can second-guess myself, or put up any sort of defense against the traitorous feelings inside me, I'm moving toward him. I go to sit in the chair next to him, but Kenzo shakes his head.
Here.
He murmurs, patting his lap. What? I choke.
Come. Here.
He growls softly, crooking his fingers again and pointing at his thighs. My face erupts with heat as I sit on his lap. Then I shiver and gasp as he turns me around and boldly yanks me over his legs, face down. Kenzo! My eyes bulge and my breath chokes off as he grabs hold of the back of my yoga pants and yanks them down over my ass to mid-thigh with a strong jerk of his arm. What the fuck? I yelp as he grabs my panties, pulling them down as well. My whole world explodes, my face tingling and my body throbbing not only with shame, but also a vicious need for something more, something dark. I tremble, feeling intensely exposed and vulnerable. I felt like this before, but this time is different. This time, it's not a weapon being used against me, to torture me and to keep me in place. This time, there's something weirdly freeing about what he's doing, what he's allowing to blossom inside me, what he's unlocking from deep in my psyche. He who will not be named was a monster. His intentions were vile and corrupt. Kenzo might be a dick, maybe even a little psychotic. We might be enemies, but he's not a monster. So when his hand slides up the back of my thigh and over my ass, I don't flinch or crawl in on myself. I don't block it out or retreat. I embrace it. I breathe it in. I let the heat of his touch and the scorch of his gaze melt into my skin and set me ablaze. Kenzo's big hand grabs one of my ass cheeks. My face throbs with embarrassment when he spreads me wide open, and I feel cool air against the slickness between my thighs. What? My voice is shaky. What are you?
Whatever I want, princess.
He growls.
Don't forget, you're my wife. You're mine. All of you. Including,
he murmurs,
this pretty little pussy.
His hand slides between my thighs, and I bite back a moan when one of his fingers teasingly drags up my lips.
Isn't that right?
He says quietly. I...
Say it.
I defiantly shake my head.
Say it,
he growls. I pause. It's yours, I finally mumble, heat pulsing in my face. Kenzo chuckles darkly.
What is?
I swallow. My vagina? He sighs heavily.
Princess. You can do better than that.
I yelp as he casually swats my ass, making the skin erupt with fire and heat. He does it again to the other cheek, making me simmer and squirm with desire. I feel him reach for something in his pocket. Then his hand slips back between my slightly spread thighs, teasing over my wetness. What are you? I whimper, biting my lip as I feel something hard and rubbery slide into me. My eyes roll back in pleasure as it sinks deep, and it's only then that I realize that it's U-shaped. One end rests inside against my G-spot, the other end of the U sitting against my clit. My whole body begins to tremble. I hear the click of a button being pushed. Oh, fuck! The toy starts sending vibrations radiating through my core like tidal waves. It's almost too intense, but just shy of being unbearable. I try and bite back the moan, but there's no stopping the audible cry of pleasure as the throbbing rumbling against my clit and my G-spot send me hurtling into an abyss.
No,
Kenzo murmurs darkly over the vibrating hum, turning me into a puddle on his lap.
Let's try that again, shall we?
His palm spanks my ass, hard, making me yelp as I sob in pleasure.
Say it.
It's yours, I choke, clinging to his muscled thighs and squirming against them.
What is? Try harder.
My world melts as my mouth goes slack. My pussy, I whimper.
Is?
Yours, I whine loudly as the waves crash over me. I can't believe I'm saying or doing this. I don't submit. I never submit to anyone. But right now, I'm craving it, desperate for it. The pulsing of the toy is my entire world. The pleasure is all I know. His thumb slips into my mouth, fucking my lips shallowly as I moan around it.
So nice and wet, princess,
he growls. His thumb slips out with a soft pop. Then I can feel him slowly moving his hand back. His thumb teases against my ass. Jesus. Kenzo, I'm not...
I don't remember asking for your opinion or permission, princess,
he murmurs. I moan deeply as his wet thumb circles the rim of my tight hole, before suddenly he's slipping it inside. Holy fuck! I feel something else push against my lips. For a minute, I think it's his other thumb. But when I take it inside, I realize it's another rubber toy, although it's shaped differently from the one pulsing against my clit and G-spot.
I'd get this really nice and wet if I were you.
I whimper, moaning as I tongue the toy, coating it in my spit. He slips it from my mouth as his thumb sinks deeper into my ass and then gently slips out. The toy teases my back hole, and my eyes widen. Kenzo! Without warning, without asking, and without any preamble, he pushes the little toy into my ass. Fuck! I grunt, my legs shaking and my toes curling in the air. The butt plug sinks into me, widening to such a point that I choke on a whine before it suddenly narrows again to a flared base that rests against my ring. It was just in my mouth. I know that it's fairly small, but holy fuck, it feels huge back there.
Interesting,
Kenzo murmurs. A choked moan tumbles from my mouth. What?
You've never had anyone here, have you?
He's right. No, I whimper. I groan as he grabs both toys by the parts outside me, gently pushing them in and out as if fucking both my holes at the same time. My eyes roll back and my mouth goes slack. My nails dig into his firm, muscled thighs as I cling to him and moan in pleasure.
I'll enjoy stretching this little hole someday,
Kenzo growls.
But first, on your knees.
What? He leans down, his lips near my ear.
You're going to get on your knees and swallow every inch of my cock like a good little whore.
It's like someone dumped ice water over my head and utterly doused the fire that was threatening to consume me.
You're such a good little whore, Annika. My little whore.
Instantly, and I do mean instantly, whatever fierce desire I had is extinguished as memories of the shame, the darkness, and the abuse surge to the forefront of my thoughts. I lurch away from Kenzo, scrambling off his lap and yanking my panties and pants up quickly. He frowns and starts to speak. I beat him to it. I'm not a whore, I snarl coldly. I step back from him, my arms reflexively crossing over my chest as I look away. I'm not. He says nothing. Slowly, I glance back to him to see an impassive look on his face as he tilts his head and eyes me.
I didn't.
You literally just did, I hiss. He studies me thoughtfully.
We're not done here,
he finally growls. Trust me, we are. I whirl, storming across the conference room and out the door. I march in a cold, angry haze back up to the main cabin and plop down in a seat next to Hana. She frowns, pulling out her earbuds and turning away from whatever she was watching to look at me with concern. You okay? Yeah, I mumble. Then my eyes bulge, and I have to slam a hand over my own mouth to stop from gasping aloud. In my haste to escape the memories that were crowding forward, I've managed to storm back here with Kenzo's fucking toys still inside me. And they just started to rumble and move. Both of them. I squirm in my seat, clutching the armrest in one hand and twisting my head away to bite the heel of my other hand. Jesus, Annika, Hana blurts. Are you? I'm fine. I choke. I just have to. Just as I'm about to get out of my chair and run to the bathroom to get these fucking things out of me, a firm, powerful hand lands heavily on my shoulder.
Easy there, wife.
He growls evenly. I stare at him with a mix of, fuck you, and are you crazy? As he smirks right in my face, reaches down, and clips my seatbelt in place. He tightens it against my stomach as I squirm and fight back the urge to moan.
The captain just told me we're about to experience some turbulence.
He shoots me a slight grin that only I can see. Lying sack of... I gasp sharply as the plane jolts. Kenzo's smirk turns downright smug as he sits in the seat facing me. He buckles up as the plane lurches again. Then he pulls his phone out of his pocket and smiles coolly at me as he holds it up and cocks a brow significantly. Oh, you fucker. He taps the screen, open to the app or whatever that controls the fucking toys inside me. The buzzing, throbbing, and pulsing all ramp up a notch as I cling to the seat, a horrified look on my face even as the pleasure intensifies. My eyes lock with his as his mouth curls dangerously.
Strap in, wife.
He grins.
It might be a very bumpy flight.
Chapter 18. Kenzo. It's been clear from the get-go that Annika and I are different, opposites, at odds. She's chaos and I'm control. She's fire, I'm ice. She's fluidity, I'm order. But the longer we're together, concrete examples of us being opposites get thrust in my face more and more. For instance, I hate long flights. Even on a plane as sumptuous as Sota's, I feel trapped, like my life is on pause while the rest of the world keeps going. Annika, however, seems to enjoy them, at least this one. She watched movies, took a tour of the facilities, had sake and sushi with Sota in the dining area, and then conducted a business meeting. My favorite example of our differences so far might be what we find entertaining. For instance, I was happy to watch Annika squirm, bite her lip, grip her seat and squeeze her mouth and eyes shut as I forced her to orgasm somewhere in the vicinity of 4 times via the remote-controlled toys while trapped in her seat due to the turbulence. Annika, it would seem, was not as amused by that. Imagining how much less amused she would be to know that the turbulence was actually just the pilots fucking around at my request is even more entertaining to me. Eventually, once we leveled off, Annika basically levitated to the bathroom. She walked out 10 minutes later looking furious, flustered, and very worn out before she shoved the toys into my hands, wrapped in a wad of paper towels, and told me to fucking choke on them. Yeah, she hasn't seen the last of those. We ride in silence as the car winds from the airport through old Kyoto to the mansion I've recently taken over. Until recently it belonged to the man that I thought had killed my father. This city has been my home since I was 18 and came to Japan to discover the Yakuza side of me. Everyone knew who I was, the gaijin that Sota had taken in like a stray. But they didn't know who I was, that I was heir to the Mori throne, I mean. That's how I was able to infiltrate the Ito Kai, a rival Yakuza family led by Orochi Ito and his shitbag nephew Takato. Both men, I use the word loosely, completely without honor. When my father tried to leave the world of the Yakuza, it was Orochi who turned on him and made moves to take over my father's empire before he'd even left. It ended in the car crash that killed Hideo's wife, Fumi's mother. I thought the crash had killed Hideo as well. Sota alone knew I was Hideo Mori's son. Meanwhile, Orochi was a stupid, vain man. So when I told him I was tired of Sota's leadership and looking for a stronger, more powerful Oyabun, the fool brought it hook, line, and sinker and welcomed me to his inner circle. I spent a year undercover in the Ito Kai before the night I cut them off at the knees, though it was Fumi who ended up dealing the final blow that ended their empire. Since then, I've stepped out of the shadows. I'm still fiercely loyal to Sota, and I always will be. But after that night, the Yakuza world learned that the Mori Kai was on the way back to its former glory. I took what I wanted from the wreckage of Orochi's organization. His warehouses, his connections, his politicians, his businesses. I also took his fucking house. I turn and watch with smug satisfaction as Annika realizes the stunning home sitting high on the cliffs overlooking Lake Biwa on the outskirts of Kyoto is our destination.
"This is where you live,"
she whispers, her brows arching. The mansion is a mix of contemporary and old-world Japan. Soaring balconies, distinctly Japanese Kirizuma gabled roofs, lush gardens. But it's also got walls of contemporary glass windows and all the modern luxuries. It's also a fucking fortress. High walls with electrified fencing at the top surround the grounds, which are patrolled by some of my most elite, highly trained guards. The front gate could hold off an army, and cameras cover almost every square inch of the place. Yet you'd never know most of the security measures and fortifications were in place unless you were looking for them. A person never feels like they're living in a prison while they're here. I fucking love the place. So do my siblings, which is why they live here too. God knows it's big enough. I allow the smug feeling at Annika's shocked expression to simmer inside me as I shrug. Do you like it? She tips her head, not looking at me.
It's fine, I guess.
I roll my eyes. The guards wave us through the front gates and onto the grounds. The driveway curves up from the lakeside road, winding through gardens, past staggered koi ponds, and under huge Japanese red maples, until we get to the house itself. I step out and smile. Fuck, it's good to be home. Anna is exhausted from the trip, and after giving Annika a hug and me a perfunctory nod, she heads off to the wing of the house she sort of claimed as hers. Mal heads to one of the outbuildings on the property that he's adopted, and Takeshi grunts something about seeing if the ladies missed him before he saunters off to the huge garage that houses the car collection I inherited from Orochi, as well as a bunch of motorcycles. Those would be Takeshi's ladies. An apartment over the garage is where he lives when he's here, because of course it is. Sota's already back at his home in Minami Ward in central Kyoto. So after my siblings take off, it's just Annika and I standing by the front doors. She glances my way. Go figure, she hasn't been able to meet my eyes fully since I made her orgasm 4 times on the plane.
What, you don't have servants or whatever to show us to our rooms?
I lift a brow. How elitist of you. She purses her lips.
I mean, I'm surprised you don't have servants or slaves or whatever.
You have quite the low opinion of me, don't you?
I'm sure there's room for it to go lower, don't you worry.
I chuckle to myself as I open the front doors and step inside. Annika follows, and when I glance back, I grin at her failure to hide her stunned expression.
I'm assuming Soda gave you this place.
What makes you think I didn't buy it myself? She eyes me doubtfully.
Did you?
No. She rolls her eyes and makes her way slowly through the double-height front entryway. I stole it, actually. I grin at her shocked expression, then walk past her into the house. Hungry? She shakes her head, still mostly avoiding my eyes. It pisses me off, because it's not just since I made her come on the plane. It started earlier, in the conference room, when I called her a whore. The thing is, I wasn't literally calling her a whore. Not like that. I meant it as in, you're my little whore. Bad girl and slut seemed to turn her into a fucking puddle when I called her those, but the W word was too much. Violently so. Alarmingly so. Tellingly so. And that's what's pissing me off. Not that she's refusing to look me in the eye, but that there's something in that word that holds a dark, painful power over her, and I fucking want to know what it is. Not hungry at all? She shakes her head.
Honestly, I'm just tired.
I'll show you to the bedroom. Annika follows me through the house, gawking at the gorgeous views of Lake Biwa. You can even see the ruins of the 16th century Sakamoto Castle. Upstairs, I lead her to the master suite. Her brow furrows.
All of this is my bedroom.
I smile. Our bedroom. Her eyes snap to mine and her jaw sets as her face heats.
What? Hey!
My hand reaches up to cup her chin, lifting her defiant eyes to mine. You're still not really grasping this whole marriage thing, are you?
Oh, I grasp it just fine, she mutters. I just like my privacy.
What's mine is yours, princess. I quip, in sickness and in health.
Try and touch me again, and we'll get to till death do us part sooner than you might like,
she says evenly, an icy smile on her face. We've already consummated the marriage, I growl, smiling darkly at her. I think it's been well established that what's yours is emphatically mine.
Enjoy the memories,
she mutters, her face dark as she looks away.
Because it's not happening again.
Really? I smirk.
Really?
All because I called you the wrong bedroom name. Something I can't quite place flashes across her face. Something supremely complicated. But after it passes, she shoots me one of her trademark defiant looks, saying nothing. I'm not a mind reader, Annika. I grunt.
It's not about that.
She shrugs. Bullshit.
It's about you lacking any respect for my boundaries.
I thought I made it clear there'll be no boundaries between us. I grunt. She swallows, and I relish the blush on her face.
You walked into a meeting I was in and took out your fucking dick. She spits. I mean, are you kidding me? Okay, that's fair. And I'm about to say as much before she keeps running her fucking mouth. How the fuck would you like it if I walked into one of your business meetings and yanked my pants down and bent over? She clearly regrets saying it the nanosecond it flies out of her mouth. Okay, I quite enjoy it, actually. I grin wolfishly. And I'm willing to bet you would too. You'd have my cock fucking that pretty little cunt of yours before your panties even hit the floor. Annika's cheeks turn bright red as she stumbles over her words. You're a pig. I grin. You also... The blush on her face turns crimson as she leans closer. Made me orgasm, she hisses. You're welcome? She shoots me a vicious look. On the plane, in front of your fucking family. Yes, and I was very impressed by your ability to completely shatter for me without anyone else having the slightest... Enough, Kenzo, she sighs, glaring at me. It's been a long day, and I need to sleep. I gesture past her to the huge bed. All yours. Really? She questions, giving me a significant look. Or will I be sharing it? Is that an invitation? She flushes. I just said I'm going to be sleeping. Same question, but now I'm even more curious to hear your answer. She looks away, and her brow worries. Are we? She swallows, and when she turns back to me, her face is full of concern. Are we safe here? This house is a fortress, and I have a small army guarding it. But I mean, if anyone were to slip by and get past all your men to the house, they won't. But if they did, she insists. I shake my head. In the impossible situation where that occurs, this room is also impenetrable. How? I walk over to the bedside table and push a button. There's a click as the wall of windows all lock. That's blast and bulletproof glass, I say. The locks are the same as the ones the US uses in their embassies in hostile countries. She chews on her lip. And the door. It's got the same lock as the glass. Annika raises her worried blue eyes to mine. Show me. Of course. I walk over to the door with her. Here. I point to the lock on the inside knob. This button locks it, and the panel back near the bedside table will secure it with steel bolt locks around all four sides. You couldn't blow through it with a tank. She smiles quietly, relieved, and her eyes lift to mine. Thank you. It takes a lot to catch me off guard, but when Annika stands up on her tiptoes and kisses me softly on the lips, add that to the list. Her lips are soft against mine, and there's a quiet moan in the back of her throat as her hands go to my chest. Suddenly it all goes wrong. I lose my footing as she leans into me quickly. I don't realize I'm being pushed until I step backward past the door frame. Shit. I see Annika's smug grin for just a second before the door slams and locks in my face. God damn it.
Chapter 19. Annika. The triumphant feeling I get from locking Kenzo out of his own bedroom is short-lived, because I forgot the golden rule of siege warfare. Have enough provisions to outlast the enemy. Eventually, the next afternoon, it's hunger that has me coming out of my fortress. When I do, though, I'm met with a surprise. Kenzo isn't waiting for me so that he can grab me and yell at me for locking him out. In fact, he's nowhere to be seen. I looked, and yes, the house is huge, but no matter how many rooms I poke my head into, I'm finally forced to acknowledge that my husband is not here. I don't take as much glee in that as I should. I end up finding Hana doing some work sitting outside in one of the many gorgeous gardens. When she explains what it is she does for Kenzo and Sota, I laugh, because it turns out we have similar roles, albeit different styles. She's not so much the scary bitch that walks into negotiations and sets the place on fire like me, but her cool, laser-focused precision makes her a force to be reckoned with as the head of business acquisitions for the Mori and Akiyama families. Other than her, though, The house really does appear to be empty. No Mal, no Takashi, no Kenzo, and no staff. Hana explains that there's a housekeeper and a cleaner who come twice a week. Other than that, there's just Jiro, the chef from the plane, who works for Kenzo, not Sota, as I would have guessed. I make myself some coffee and a snack in the huge modern kitchen. Then I find a tranquil spot next to a koi pond outside and get to work. Hours later, there still seems to be nobody around. I close my laptop and take a walk around the grounds. A few guards spot me, but they seem to know who I am and barely look at me, giving me only quick, perfunctory nods before continuing on their patrols. High, wire-topped fences surround Kenzo's property. I make my way to the imposing front torii gate that we drove through when we first arrived. Then I follow the main drive back up to the house and keep going past it. Evening is starting to fall when I stumble across the massive garage. I gawk as I step inside and take in the rows and rows of gorgeous vintage cars and motorcycles. The sound of what might be a power drill draws me past the Corvettes, Mustangs, Porsches, and a beautiful old Ferrari, and I walk through another doorway into a mechanic's bay. Takashi is crouched over a bike frame, welding some bits together. When he sees me approach in his peripheral vision, he kills the power and lifts the welder's mask, painted to resemble a ferocious Hanya mask.
Looking for your boyfriend?
Not particularly, no.
He and Mal are out on a business thing.
I shrug. Okay.
Heard you made him sleep on the couch.
I turn to Takashi. I didn't make him sleep anywhere. It didn't have to be the couch. I just pressed my advantage and locked him out of the bedroom so I could have it to myself. Takashi smirks.
So is this the newlywed honeymoon phase I hear so much about?
I roll my eyes. Beats me. I'm just starting to stroll around the workshop, eyeing a few other serious-looking sports bikes, when Hana walks in through the open bay door. I was wondering if I'd find you here. Her mouth twists. Kenzo just called me. He wants you to be ready to go to some cocktail party thing tonight. He wants to be leaving here by 10:30. How lovely, I deadpan. Hana smirks. He's just...
Kenzo, Takashi sighs. He's just Kenzo, though I doubt he'd be pissed if we just started calling him Dad.
Hana snorts a laugh as I grin at them both. What's that about? Takashi shrugs.
He's been playing Dad to all of us since we were kids. I mean, with Hideo not around and Mum.
He frowns and shakes his head, like this is something he doesn't really want to discuss. I get it. I'm not a fan of talking about my parents either. It's too painful, even now. He eyes the Kawasaki Ninja bike that I'm standing next to, then drags his gaze to me.
Do you really ride?
I nod. I mean, well enough. He glances at Hana, then back to me.
Define well enough.
Tack, his twin says, a warning note in her voice.
What? I'm just asking.
I cock a brow. What do you mean by well enough? His manic, wolfish smile widens, like he's half feral.
I'm asking if you ride well enough to keep up with me.
God damn it. Hana sighs. Takashi grins.
Hana has issues with saying no to a challenge.
His eyes flash dangerously.
Which is why I'm issuing one.
You're an asshole, Hana grumbles, turning to grin at me before glancing back to her brother. Fine. What's the challenge?
Race time, baby.
Hana frowns. What? You versus me? I can already see the craziness sparking in Takashi's eyes before he corrects her. Yeah, a simple race isn't enough for someone like him.
Nah.
He grins.
All three of us.
Her nose wrinkles. Tack, no. She can't ride like... Who says I can't ride? Hana turns to shoot me a look. I'm not asking if you can ride a motorcycle. I'm asking if you can ride one of Tak's mostly not street-legal crotch rockets on steroids. That was you in the back of the stolen Bugatti I drove to Canada, right? She grins widely. Fair.
Hell yeah, let's do this!
Takashi says gleefully, a manic look all over his face.
Here to Kiyomachi Street. Loser buys 2 rounds at Club Lotus.
Hana frowns. Tak, she doesn't know Kyoto. She has no idea where that is. Takashi strokes his chin.
Okay, let's do this. You 2 are on a team versus me, so you can follow Hana. But,
he grunts, turning to his sister,
you both have to beat me to win.
Hana sucks on her teeth as she turns to me. I shrug, grinning. I'm game if you are. Takashi throws me a helmet.
If you were shitting me about your ability to ride earlier, now would be a good time to say so.
My only answer is to yank the helmet over my head and flick open the visor. Just so you know, Takashi, I like my martinis dry with a twist. Vodka. Hana hoots as she hands me a set of keys and points to a neon pink, purple, and black bike, while she climbs onto an all-white one with a slash of red down the side like a sword cut. Just keep as close to me as you can, yeah? I nod, my adrenaline thrumming as I climb onto my bike, watching Takashi settle astride a matte black beast with a golden dragon curling down the side and an engine that looks like it powered a fighter jet in its previous life.
Let's fucking go!
I may have oversold my motorcycle abilities. I mean, I know how to ride, but I haven't been on one in like 5 years. Just the same, when it comes to sink or swim situations, I generally only ever see one option. I mean, who the hell wants to sit at the bottom of the pool? Hana and I do end up losing to Takashi. Probably because we both place at least some value on our lives, which he clearly doesn't. But it's still close. I buy the drinks at Club Lotus, because I'm sure Hana held back just a little so I wouldn't be totally lost trying to find our destination. 2.5 hours later, the 3 of us pull back into the garage and kill the engines. Takashi eyes me coolly as he kicks his stand down and pulls off his helmet. His long, dark hair is wild around his face, only adding to that feral vibe he's got going on.
Not bad.
He nods, sliding off his bike. Not bad. Hana rolls her eyes as she alights. We were on your ass the whole way there and back. I'm breathless, my face hot and my body tingling from the breakneck ride back to the house. There's also an energy surging through me that I'm loving. The rush I always get from something and someplace new.
Have fun.
Takashi smirks. Holy shit! I gush as I peel off my sweaty helmet, my hair sticking to my forehead. That was incredible!
I'm glad you had such a good time.
The energy dies instantly as we turn to see Kenzo leaning against the open bay door, his arms folded over his chest. He's wearing a full suit, his hair nicely slicked back. My eyes dart to the wall clock. Shit. 10:15. Kenzo, He turns, shooting his sister a withering look.
Come on, man. We just had to blow off some steam. You know, shake the dust off after that fucking plane ride. I'll speak with my wife now.
Kenzo growls.
Alone.
Hana and Takashi glance nervously at each other, then at me. I smile back weakly, shrugging like it's nothing. Like I'm not absolutely scared of the wrathful, dark way Kenzo's energy is sucking the very light out of the garage. When it's just the 2 of us, I lift my eyes to his. I can get ready fast.
Amid all your bitching and moaning about being stuck with me,
he growls.
Has it ever once occurred to you that I'm not exactly thrilled to be stuck with you? This cocktail party tonight is important, Annika. Maybe not for you personally, but it is for me and for my future. Which, though it pains me to say it, you're now a part of.
Okay, ouch.
Important people expecting to meet with me are there tonight. People I might be going into business with.
So go! I fire back. If I'm such a burden to drag around, don't. Just go without.
That's not what's expected of.
Who cares?
I do,
he roars, making me gasp as he surges into me.
I fucking do. These things matter to me, Annika.
I wince a little, backing up against the bike behind me. Okay, I mumble, suddenly feeling shitty about all but blowing off the event tonight to go joyriding. This isn't Kenzo being a jerk or bossing me around. He's right. It's not just the Yakuza where it would be expected for someone to bring their new bride to an important event like tonight's. It would be fully expected in the Bratva, too. He's not the asshole here. I am. Look, I clear my throat. I'm sorry. I mean it. He grunts, still frowning. I really can get ready super fast.
Let's find out.
Kenzo all but drags me after him by the wrist as he storms out of the garage and across the grounds to the main house. I follow him upstairs into our room and into the huge attached dressing room. I stumble to a stop and stare at the wall of women's clothes on one side of the room. I unpacked my 2 suitcases earlier. The contents took up 1/8 of this space. Now, the rest of it is filled with gowns, dresses, skirts, tops, shoes, jackets, and more. Kenzo walks over to the wall and plucks a garment bag off of one of the racks. He turns and hangs it on a hook next to a full-length mirror and unzips it, revealing an extremely revealing but still elegant midnight blue gown with the faintest sparkle of sequins. It's floor-length, but above the waist, it's literally just 2 palm-width strips of fabric that cover the breasts and tie at the back of the neck. What is this? I ask, my lips thin.
This is what you should have had on an hour ago.
I glance at him, raising a brow. You're joking.
I am not. Put it on. Time's a-wasting.
No way! I balk. It's trashy.
It's Versace,
he says through clenched teeth.
And you're putting it on, or I'll do it for you.
I'd like to see another option. Hey! I shiver as he moves in on me, grabbing me firmly and spinning me around. I whimper when he pins me to the wall, one hand clutching a fistful of my hair as the other grabs the back of my leggings. In one yank, he tugs them and my panties down to my knees. My hoodie comes off next, my pulse thudding as he shoves it up over my back and pulls it off my head. My bra follows. Then my core tightens and my breath catches as he drops to his knees behind me, yanking my leggings and underwear off first one foot and then the other. He stands, and without warning, his palm spanks me with a sharp crack.
That's for being a pain in my ass.
Fire spreads through my core as he spanks the other cheek.
And that's for making us late.
My pulse jangles as he spins me back to him and cups my jaw. He lifts my chin and slowly lets his gaze rake down over my nudity, then back up to my eyes.
Put on the fucking dress,
he growls. Fucking hell. That tone, that accent, that velvety way he demands it. It's not playing fair. Kenzo steps back, watching me closely as I take the dress off the hanger and slip it on. I reach back to tie it, but he stops me, turning me around and doing it himself. I shiver as I feel the heat of his fingers brush the nape of my neck. When he's done, I look at myself in the mirror. Oh. I'm not generally a dress girl, but I've just changed my opinion on this one. It's not trashy. I look good. Really, really good. The fit is perfect. Yes, it shows off a lot of cleavage, even some side boob if I turn that way. But it's not in a skanky, overdone, and too revealing way. It's like classy sexy. I twist my hair up into a tight knot, tucking in all the stray bits before I slip the hair tie off my wrist and use it to keep it all up there. I pull one tendril free, letting it hang down the side of my face before I meet his eyes in the mirror. Eh? Kenzo's eyes bore into mine, a fire in them I can't quite decipher.
Yeah,
He growls.
that works.
I nod. Then my brow furrows. I'm not going commando.
No, you're damn well not.
He growls. He walks over to some of the drawers set into the wall and opens one, revealing an insane collection of sexy, lacy lingerie. I have my own underwear, thanks.
Your Tuesday, everything else is in the laundry period panties aren't going to work with this.
I have nice underwear, jerk.
Trust me, you don't.
He turns, dangling a skimpy little black thong off the end of his finger.
This is nice underwear.
I balk. I am not wearing that. Kenzo just smiles. I'm not. Hey! 1 second we're standing a foot apart from each other. The next, he's dropping to one knee in front of me, grabbing my ankle. What the hell? Kenzo slips the thong over my foot, sliding it up my calf. Kenzo. He drops that foot and grabs the other one, planting it on his thigh. He grips my calf, sliding the thong onto that leg. I stay frozen as he slides the panties up my legs, pushing my dress with it. My face heats, but all I can do is stare, my mouth agape as he pushes the gown all the way up until my bare pussy is right in front of his face. Heat floods my face. Slowly, Kenzo slides the lacy, sheer panties up until they're snug against my sex.
There.
I don't wear thongs.
Tonight, you do.
I don't like how they feel.
Time to change that.
He leans closer, his breath hot on my inner thighs. My pulse jumps into the stratosphere as he presses his mouth right against my pussy through the thin fabric. Heat hums against my lips as he groans against me. I can feel his tongue swipe up, dragging through the lace, and my jaw goes slack. Oh, fuck. Kenzo's eyes slide up to mine, kneeling in front of me, his mouth still on me. His hand skims up my thigh. His fingers slip under the edge of my panties, and I whimper as he pulls them aside before his mouth moves back into position. Shit. I moan, choking on the sound as his tongue drags slowly up my seam, rolling over my clit. His lips fasten around the throbbing nub, and when his tongue dances over it, my legs buckle and I almost fall. Kenzo doesn't blink. He doesn't stop tonguing my clit as he reaches up and pulls my hands down to his hair. My pulse hammers in my ears as I slide my fingers through his black locks, clinging to him for dear life as he starts to lick me a little faster. His hands skim over my ass, and one slips between my legs. I moan again when I feel his fingers center against my opening. He pushes two up into my pussy, stroking them in and out as he sucks on my clit. My body ripples before going slack. I choke back a gasping breath, sagging against his mouth as my fingers tighten in his hair. He's merciless and insistent as his mouth demands the orgasm from my body. I moan when his two fingers sink deep inside me, stroking and curling against my G-spot as his tongue and lips feast on my throbbing clit. Fucking hell, I'm going to come already. My face crumples as I moan deeply, shamelessly gripping his hair and pulling him tighter to my pussy. Oh my God.
My husband works just fine.
Kenzo growls into my folds.
Credit where credit is due, princess. It's not God making this messy little cunt come. It's me.
I gasp as he sinks a third finger into me, stretching me to my limit as he sucks hard on my clit. With a spasm and a wrenching cry, my hips buck forward. My legs almost give out as the orgasm explodes through my core, his other hand sliding up to grip my ass firmly, keeping me pressed to his mouth. I'm still shaking and my vision is still swimming when he pulls back. He tugs the thong back into place, sending an electric sensation buzzing through my body as the silky lace teases against my sensitive, swollen pussy. He stands, cupping my chin and leaning into my ear, letting the gown fall back into place.
The thing about thongs, princess,
he growls,
is that they fit a bit better when they're nice and wet. Now,
he purrs darkly, rolling his shoulders as he pulls back from me. He pushes his messed up hair back, shifting into his customary utterly put-together, utterly ridiculously handsome self as he straightens his tie.
We should be going.
I nod, barely able to make words as my face pulses with heat. I swallow, still shaking as I turn to walk out of the dressing room.
Aren't you forgetting something, princess?
I stop halfway to the door. When I turn back to him and see what's in his hands, fresh heat blooms in my face and across my chest. It's the toys from the plane. The little black rubber U-shaped one with a gold band around the middle, and the small black butt plug with the gold hilt. He doesn't say a word. He just raises his hand and crooks 2 fingers at me. A tingling sensation ripples through my core as I move toward him in a trance.
Open your mouth.
He slips the plug between my lips.
Keep it there.
He lifts my gown. I tremble when he slips his fingers into the top of my panties, pulling them away from my glistening sex and slipping the toy down into them. I moan quietly as he curls the toy into me, sinking it against my G-spot with the outside part of it resting against my still throbbing clit. He reaches up and slips the second toy from between my wet lips.
Turn around.
I do so, willingly, eagerly. I bite back a whimper as he lifts my gown again. His fingers tug the tiny black strip of the thong aside, and when I feel the rubber plug push against my tight, puckered ring, I wince and my breath catches.
Breathe, princess,
he growls, nipping my ear.
My cock will feel much bigger than this.
The adrenaline rush of his touch, combined with his dark promise, have my body shivering and pulsing. I whimper as the toy pushes against my tight hole, slowly opening me up. It sinks into me, making my core flutter as I feel my ass tighten again just below the flared base.
Now we can go,
he growls.
Chapter 20. Kenzo. The death of Orochi Ito and his nephew shook up the Kyoto underworld. At first, everyone expected there to be a massive bloodbath in the ensuing power vacuum. But that never happened, because I filled that vacuum. I might still be the new guy in town, but the old guard of the various Yakuza families in Kyoto accorded me a measure of respect, due both to my last name and the fact that I'm essentially Sota's heir. Unfortunately, hand in hand with respect and becoming one of the kings of the city comes having to play the tired old guard games, like enduring insufferably boring sit-downs where everyone just glad-hands each other and bullshits about how powerful they are, or the never-ending social calendar of weddings, engagement galas, or omiyamari ceremonies celebrating the birth of one heir or another. Tonight is yet another of these asinine social gatherings. Worse, it's my own asinine social gathering. Tonight's shindig has been organized by Sota to celebrate my marriage to Annika and the peace and prosperity between our family and the Bratva that brings. Just shoot me. Sota's not oblivious to my thoughts about this whole thing, and he's not being an asshole and forcing me to celebrate it. This is just what's expected. It would be disrespectful to the other Yakuza families in Kyoto not to throw something like this. Still, it's me that has to suffer through the bullshit of a bunch of chain-smoking old guys ogling waitstaff and sipping expensive sake and whiskey while they make deals to make themselves even richer. And yet, when I turn to glance at Annika sitting next to me in the back of the black Range Rover, with the street lights and the neon of the city washing over her in waves, I'm not sure the word suffer is accurate. It's an insult to actual suffering to characterize sitting next to a woman as beautiful as she, or walking into an event with her on my arm as my wife as such. There was a reason I fell for Haneka's bullshit 5 years ago. Sure, I was drunk and high on my own successes. I was younger and reckless and probably looking for trouble. But when trouble walked in looking like her, I was fucked. She wore a blonde bob wig over her long red locks that night, but the disguise did nothing to hide her beauty, her raw sensuality, her tantalizing promise of recklessness and bad decisions. I bought her a drink, then another. She asked if we could go somewhere, just the two of us, and my dick took over. I woke up 18 hours later, vaguely remembering the drink she poured me back at my place tasting funny, with faint memories of putting on a record and asking her to dance to Al Green with me. I distinctly remember wanting to punch myself in the dick the next day at my sappiness regarding that move. But most of all, I remembered her. The feel of her body swaying against mine as So Tired of Being Alone crooned over my stereo system. The scent of her skin, a mix of jasmine, orange blossom, and the sea. The taste of her soft lips when I kissed her, taking her by surprise. I'm pretty sure my next maneuver would have involved less romance and more ripping her clothes off and fucking her into the mattress until she saw God. But we never made it that far before the drug she slipped me took hold and sent me reeling to the floor. I'm gonna remember you, I growl as the darkness closes in. I stare at her face, memorizing every detail, remembering. The blonde flashes me a cocky smirk as she pulls my wallet from my jacket pocket. In your dreams, sunshine? No, princess. I grab her by the wrist with the last of my strength as reality fades. In yours, which I'll be fucking haunting. Hana wasn't that far off when she asked me if it was the necklace, the girl, or the fact that someone beat you that had you all angry and riled up for 5 fucking years. I already know the answer to that. Spoiler, it's not the necklace. It might not even be that someone got one over on me. And that leaves the girl. Annika turns to look at me as the flickering lights from the club signs outside illuminate her soft features and her full lips, her big seductive eyes. She arches a questioning brow, curious why I'm staring at her. I don't have an answer to that, at least not one I'm prepared to voice, even just to myself inside my own head. When we pull up outside the lounge where the event is being held, I get out first. Some of the press is waiting. Pictures of the Yakuza sell as well as photos of movie stars in Japan. And I turn away from the flash of cameras to open the door and help Annika out. I'm sure people will have plenty to say about the half-gaijin Yakuza prince marrying a European girl, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care if I'm not Japanese enough in their eyes. I know where I came from. I know who I am. My family's blood is soaked deep into the streets of this city. I'm no gaijin outsider. I'm Yakuza through and through. And the woman at my side is my fucking queen. Well, now, if it isn't the guest of honor, Mal says sarcastically. I tap the rim of my scotch glass to his. And if it isn't the one Mori kid who wasn't fast enough to weasel his way out of this train wreck. Takeshi and Hana were both quick to come up with legitimate reasons for Sota why they couldn't come to this thing tonight. Mal's excuse, if he even tried one, wasn't solid enough. I mean, it's not like Sota would order him or anything. But that thing parents do, where they're not mad, just disappointed, fucking works. And Sota is a master at it. Touché, Mal grunts, sipping his drink. We turn to survey the crowd at the Nijo Empire, the exclusive VIP club named after some local castle ruins where tonight's festivities are being held. Where's your bride? Nakahara Turo's wife found her and dragged her in with the other wives. Mal grimaces. Brutal. You just threw her to the wolves like that? She can handle herself. He smirks, eyeing me. Well, she seems to be handling you just fine. That's no mean feat. I'm about to reply with something biting when Mal scowls, his gaze shifting past me to the front of the club. Fuck me. Look at Tamura. Tamura Yoshito's father was a mid-level enforcer who held allegiance to my father and was by all accounts a loyal, well-respected man. His son, however, is a fucking dipshit. The kid walks around like he's cosplaying some blend of Fast and the Furious and whatever Japanese gangster movies he's been watching too much of lately. Honestly, if he was just reckless, cocky and hungry, he'd be fine, and he'd fit right in with most of the other guys in the Yakuza his age. But Tamura is also unbelievably fucking stupid. For instance, he's been skimming a little off the top of his collections before handing the money over to my mid-level guys. You don't have to be in the Yakuza to understand that stealing from them is a bad idea. Normally, I'd have already had him dangled off a 10th-story railing or even removed one of his hands. But I can't pull shit like that without hard evidence, unless I want to sow leadership doubt in my ranks. And I don't have hard evidence. I said take him to the cliffs near the ruins of Sakamoto Castle and dangle him by his fucking balls until he confesses.
I'm sorry, until who confesses to what?
I can't help but grin widely as I turn to see Annika standing there, looking stunning. Fuck me, that's my wife. Mal frowns. Nothing, he grunts.
Oh, so just a casual conversation about hanging someone by their balls over a cliff. Got it.
She shrugs with a sly grin. I exhale, turning to nod my chin at Tamura, who's currently trying and failing to hit on one of the waitresses. One of our guys is skimming. We just can't prove it.
That dweeb is skimming from you,
she says incredulously. I'd almost be impressed if it didn't make me want to cut his head off, Mal mutters.
And you need proof.
I nod.
Okay, so what would prove he's skimming so you can make a move on him?
Evidence? Mal says sarcastically. She rolls her eyes.
Thank you, Dr. Watson, that's most helpful. I meant where could one find such evidence?
On his phone, probably, I mutter. He's always on it, does all of his business that way, and never leaves his side.
So, take it away from his side.
I roll my eyes. Shockingly, that idea has crossed my mind, but it's not like we can hack into a fucking iPhone.
Not with that attitude, you can't.
I eye her, finding myself both amused and aroused by the look in her eyes as she glances over to Tamura. What are you scheming? She turns to bat her eyes at me.
Who, me?
Annika.
You know he's skimming.
Yes.
And the evidence is probably on his phone.
Again, yes. But before you go stealing it, you can't hack into an...
Why don't you let the professional handle this, okay?
In the blink of an eye, she turns, leans up on her toes and kisses my cheek. We both blink in shock, like neither of us saw that coming. She blushes and quickly looks away.
I'll be back,
she blurts, melting into the crowd. Mal waits a whole 3 seconds before clearing his throat. We, gonna talk about what just... Nope. He tilts his head, taking a large sip of his drink. Okay, then. Kenzo! Mal! We turn at the sound of Sota's voice, both of us bowing, as we're around the kind of guys who like to see that sort of behavior. When I straighten up again, I realize he's not alone. My jaw sets as I stare at Valon Leka, the Albanian smuggler Annika was getting far too cozy with at our engagement party. My eyes narrow a little as I size him up. Never mind what Hana said about him being a psychopath, I don't fucking like the look of him. He's not an unattractive guy, but there's something unsavory about him, like he's wearing a suitably handsome mask to hide the rot underneath. I don't necessarily buy into all that auras and energy and woo-woo crystal shit, but if I did, this fucker's got bad vibes coming out of his ass. Kenzo, Sota says, allow me to introduce you to Mr. Leka. Valon puts his hand out to shake mine. I almost don't take it, but that would be as insulting to Sota as it would be to this prick. So I grip his hand, maybe a little more forcefully than necessary. Leka looks at me with a strange glint in his eyes that I brush off as the psycho thing Hana was mentioning. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Mori, he purrs in his Eastern European accent. As you know, Kenzo, I've been speaking with Mr. Leka about going into business together. Valon coughs delicately. I get things from one place to another, Mr. Mori, he growls. It's been suggested that you and I could work together. I glance at Sota. He smiles and steps closer to me, leaning in. This is all yours, he murmurs in Japanese, patting my hand. Your deal to make or not. The decision, terms, and execution are all up to you. I arch a brow at him. Do you want this? Sota turns to smile broadly at Lekka, who very clearly has no idea what we're saying, not understanding Japanese. I think he's a slimy little snake, Sota says, still grinning pleasantly. Mal coughs to cover his snort of laughter. I think he'd sell his own mother if he got a good price. But, Sota shrugs, he's apparently one of the best. Either way, it's your call, Kenzo. He turns back to Lekka and switches to English. Kenzo and you can work out the details. He has my blessing to speak for both his organization and mine. Sota and Mal exchange a look, glance back at me, then head over to the bar. He speaks highly of you, Mr. Mori. Lekka smiles at me. Sota-san is a good man, and I want to congratulate you on your marriage. I nod. Thank you. She's a lovely girl, that Annika. My smile hardens. Yes, she is. I won't keep you. He flashes a shark-like smile at me. But let's talk soon. Mr. Lekka, I'll be blunt. I've already decided I don't like this fucker. I don't like the way he talks or the way he schmoozes, and I really don't like the way he calls my wife a lovely girl. I fix him with a flat, businesslike smile. I'm not really looking to bring on more people right now. I'm happy with our current network. Nothing personal, of course. His jaw sets, and a flash of malice crosses his face. Mr. Mori, I think if we could sit down and speak, I could show you. No need. My mind is made up. Again, nothing personal. His face darkens. Perhaps we should invite your wife into this conversation. Something vicious snarls and claws inside of me. Perhaps, Mr. Lekka, I growl, stepping closer. You should keep my wife out of this conversation and utterly out of your thoughts, because that I can promise you I will take personally. Fallon scowls. Then he clears his throat, pasting on a smile. Yeah, he gets it. He might be hot shit back in his little fiefdom or when he's running drugs for the Cosa Nostra or the Turkish Mafia. But here, I'm a fucking emperor. Here, he bows to me. Of course. My apologies, Mr. Mori. I hope that if you ever revisit the question, you'll keep me in mind. Eat shit. I smile politely as I nod my chin. Of course. Thank you for coming all the way to Kyoto to meet. Oh, I had other business here as well. I don't give a fuck. Then I hope it's fruitful, Mr. Lekka, and I hope you're able to spend some time in Kyoto enjoying yourself. Maybe I will, he says with a lackluster smile. I nod, turning and making my way through the crowd to find Sota and Mal. On the way, I bump into Annika. I'm unable to stop the grin from spreading over my face. For her part, she beams smugly as she holds up an iPhone in an X-rated manga case. What the fuck is that? She winks. Tamura's phone. You're welcome. I snort, but then I shake my head. Nice pull. It doesn't change the fact that we can't crack an iPhone. You men, always thinking there has to be brute force involved. I'm not sure I've heard much complaint from you about my brute force. Her face heats, her lip catching between her teeth. But then Annika clears her throat. No need for brute force when you have the password. My jaw drops as she calmly types it in, unlocking the phone. How the fuck did you get that? She grins. I saw him type it in. All I had to do was bat my eyes, show a little cleavage, ask if he wanted my number. I growl savagely and grab her arm, making her gasp sharply. Annika's big blue eyes snap to mine, a shiver of something heated crossing them. Jealous much? She teases, her voice husky and breathy. Maybe I just don't like my wife flirting with other men, I mutter. It was to get the phone. She murmurs softly, "I don't care." Her lips curl into a grin.
You know, they have a name for that.
Yeah, what's that?
Jealousy.
I roll my eyes as she giggles. She drops her gaze to Tamura's phone, tapping on the screen and making a face.
Okay, lot of anime porn on here. Jesus.
She frowns.
But also spreadsheets.
I watch as she scrolls.
Oh yeah, right here.
She turns the phone toward me.
Yeah, he's skimming.
She passes me the phone and pats my chest.
I'm gonna go grab a drink. You're welcome.
I watch her as she slips away. I'm not thinking about the damn phone or even Tamura. I'm still thinking about her lips. Chapter 21. Kenzo. You're a terrible husband. I chuckle, turning to flip Mal off as he shakes his head. Nakahara Turo's wife just stole Hanukkah again. Like I said, I shrug. She can handle herself. He smirks, eyeing me. What? Nothing. He shakes his head again, looking away into the crowd. Don't make me chokehold it out of you. He chuckles. I was just gonna say, I like her. Good. She's gonna be around for a while. He rolls his eyes. I meant I like her for you. I like what she does to you. What, drive me crazy? Keep telling yourself that all you want. If you actually believe it, you're a fucking idiot. I smile to myself as I turn back to survey the crowd, sipping my drink. So, I grin, side-eyeing him. Is it true what they say? About absence making the heart grow fonder? He frowns as he turns to me. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you guys text or FaceTime, or is it a snail mail kind of thing? I bet you think that was very romantic. Kenzo, I have no idea. It's all good. I grin. She's coming out this way soon. She and Annika were talking yesterday, setting it up. His brow furrows. What in the ever-loving fuck are you? Then his eyes narrow on me. I chuckle. There's the light bulb fading on. Freya, he growls quietly. You're talking about Freya? Obviously. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Kenzo. He growls coldly. Really? I think I'm talking about someone's little crush. Drop it. Whoa. There's a viciousness on Mal's face that I rarely see unless we're in the middle of a goddamn gunfight. The fuck is going on, Mal? He slams back the rest of his drink, and the anger melts off his face. Nothing. I'm going to go get some air. I frown, watching him disappear into the crowd. What the hell was that? I'm about to get myself one last drink, but when I see Mrs. Turo and her gaggle of Yakuza wives giggle their way past me, sans arnica, something darker catches my interest. Fuck the drink. I'm grinning to myself as I prowl the crowd looking for her. I had a taste earlier at home when I made her come on my tongue, but I've been savouring the taste of her cunt all fucking night, and now my dick is exceedingly jealous of my mouth. I think back to our conversation on the plane about free-use kinks. I groan to myself, my eyes stabbing around the club as I picture finding her, taking her to the nearest bathroom, closet or dark corner, bending her over and fucking her until she can't walk straight, or putting her on her knees and fucking her mouth until I empty my swollen balls down her throat. I just have to fucking find her first. I'm headed to the curtained-off hallway that leads to the restrooms to check there when I hear a voice I recognize on the other side of them. Get me this deal, puppet. Valen fuckhead lecker. I grit my teeth, stopping to listen to him talk to, I assume, one of his goons over the phone since I don't hear any reply. Get me what I want, he snaps coldly, or I'll tell your new husband what a little whore his wife used to be. Don't fucking touch me. My whole field of vision bleeds red. My world turns to fire. He's talking to Annika. I see nothing but rage and feel nothing but fury surging inside me as I rip the curtain aside and storm forward like death on his pale horse. Valon's holding a shaking, terrified, almost catatonic Arnica by the wrists. When he sees me, his eyes go wide and he backs away. Kenzo, whatever you heard. I hit him so hard I feel it all the way down to my fucking feet. I feel his teeth crunch through his lips under my fist. Lecker isn't a small man, but still, he half falls, half stumbles back, mewling in pain as I bash his face again. He doubles over, choking and spitting up blood and vomit, before I slam my knee into him as hard as I can, hearing his ribs break. My knee crashes into his face next, splitting his mouth